you helping us?
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, still unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's new.
Hey, Matt, congratulations on your success, brother. And I really appreciate you giving, both sides, and just free speech the opportunity to have a platform, dude.
Got it. You got it. Thanks for everything you've done for this country, Eli. We'll talk next time. Tell Jen hello, and I'll have this ready in a couple of hours, and you can share it and take a look. I thank you, man.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Bye-bye. Tonight's episode of Don't Unfriend Me is brought to you by the Purcellville Flag Company. The flags behind Olivia are all made of wood and made by Jason and Katie from pfcflags.com. Go over there, say hello, and get yourself a kick-ass American flag if you would be so bold. Welcome to the show tonight. We have everyone in the house. We will start with Amy Robinson is here.
Holy cannoli, oh mother of God.
And you're like, holy cannoli, oh mother of God.
Leroy Jenkins is here as pretty much not always, but at least for tonight. Leroy, welcome to. And with no further ado, my beautiful wife Olivia Spear, my Diablo partner in crime. We should get you a Diablo intro. I'm sure I could do.
Oh, that would be cool. Fantastic.
That would be fantastic. Anyway, Olivia Spear's here. And folks, we're asking for you if you would do us a solid. Please do us a solid. We are now, wait to play it, hold it, wait for it. We are now on Rumble. Don't do it. And we are needing you to stop by Rumble. You can just go search for The Dumb Show over there and like us. We're this close to 1,000. We're actually we were monetized and we're doing really well over there. It's now the second largest channel. More followers on Twitter, but Rumble seems to be taking off. And now this has been a painstaking process. They have not really embraced allowing new people to grow, but it seems to be doing well. So please go over to Rumble if you're not there. And you can also watch the show live there. Rumble, Olivia. Good morning, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. What are we doing? That's outstanding. Gosh, what a great intro. Whoever did that is amazing. My name is Matthew Spear. I'm the host of Don't Unfriend Me, if you did not know.
No, wrong one.
By the way, folks, we're on Rumble. Why don't you just let the promo play? Rumble.
Sorry.
Rumble, Olivia. Good morning, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. What are we doing? Now, it's okay. Rumble is kind of a pain. There's no doubt. They are making changes. We are on the list, kind of just the beta testers. They're coming out with a full new chat function. They're coming out with mobile versions that are a lot more effective. They're going to do streaming differently. Everything's they're really starting to get their legs. So bear with me. Just go over there and sign up. Right? Go over there and sign up. You don't have to watch it over there. Just sign up and follow, because that increases, obviously, the algorithm. My name is Matthew.
Of course, put a thumbs up on the video.
Yeah, put a thumbs up on the video. My name is Matthew Spear, and I'm the host of Don't Unfriend Me. We created this. It seems like I can't believe it wasn't going fast. It's going fast now. We're almost at 3 years.
Oh my God, has it really been?
Yeah, October 2020.
Yeah, it's almost 3 years this October. So that's, it's 2.5 now, but that's incredible. I mean, and this is funny. It's going to be our second major presidential election we're covering, which blows me away.
Yep.
Right? Which 2024 is going to be a huge election. So
it's going to be totally different, because we'd only been on the air for you had only been on the air for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, and we weren't ready for that night.
Oh no.
I mean, that night, it was me and Crowder, right? And Crowder had 10 million and I had 0.00004% of that, but that's okay. It was a great night and it was insane. And, that's when I realized, well, this is going to be fun. This is something we can do. And here we are today. We're going to bring you some good stuff tonight. If you haven't had a chance to watch the current show, this one was fun. Did anyone in the room have a chance to watch it?
I did not.
Okay.
Nope.
Well,
I didn't.
Folks, welcome. No, that's the wrong person. Welcome to the Matt Spears Show. Screw them. They didn't watch it, so we're gonna just get into it too. So listen, we may play it because it really walks through this disinformation bubble that took place. If you don't know what happened, a Cessna Citation, which is not a single engine prop, but it's actually a Learjet. It's small mom and pop Learjet. Can you shrink my picture? My ass looks big.
I didn't say my ass. I said I look really, really big compared to you guys.
That's because the camera's way too close.
Okay.
So push the camera back.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with that, because I'm probably going to push it over.
And call
or
Hayden
something.
and ask her to come out here, because I've got the camera right where it needs to be. I love this. We couldn't have done this in the beginning of the show. We had to do it now.
I can't see it until the show starts, because I don't have
You can't look over to the left. In the
I can
giant
barely see
35-inch screen TV in front of you, if that's 4 feet away, you can't. Okay. Welcome to the show. So listen, this Cessna, a lot of people it's been shot down. Al Qaeda had it. It was white supremacist. It was loaded full of freaking Anfro and what was the stuff that was taken on the train? Come on, I did a full show on it. Ammonium nitrate. Yeah.
Yes.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. On a roof, blackout.
In the full moon and a blackout. I don't know what the
Why don't you say struck match again and show everyone what your really true colors are? So anyway, this whole thing, and it was over in our neck of the woods. Hey, Hayden, grab the back leg and just pull the camera back.
Just a teeny bit.
I'll tell you when to stop. Keep going. Keep going.
Faster.
And stop. Hayden, very well done. Go ahead and tap mom and focus, please. No, don't hit her.
And then you got to push the button.
She knows how to do it. She's done it for me plenty of times. Okay. Watch this. She's got this. Just let her do her job. Are you done, Hayden? Okay, here we go. Plunger. Outstanding.
Oh, that was so
okay, you're done, Hayden. Good job, kid. Thanks. Go back to doing whatever you're doing.
Sorting laundry.
Just no drugs and use contraceptives. That's all I ask. Okay? Out of the room. Hayden.
Her boy toys in Denmark.
Hayden,
that's not going to happen.
Hayden, get out. Okay, so I appreciate your help. Now get out. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to get through this. Amy and I had an F-16 fly over our house, and we also had a Cessna Citation crash fairly close to here, not too far away, but it traversed over us, and then we thought it was shot down. Everyone called, it's shot down. It's Al Qaeda. It's white supremacy, whatever. No, they ultimately fell asleep at 30,000 feet because hypoxia and the mixture of oxygen was off, and essentially they all went to sleep. And that's my assessment of what happened. Because if a pilot had a heart attack, they had plenty of. I'll show you everything. It's a really interesting video, and since you guys didn't watch it, now you get to watch it. And if you were hoping not to watch it, tough shit. So we're also talking about some other things tonight that are going to be important. We're going to get to all the hosts' opinion, something that's important. and we always, well, try to do. The left are about to go all out on Trump. This is going to be pretty serious. Donald Trump is, the left are going to ramp it up. They thought the New York thing was going to kind of take care of it. They thought Georgia would be locked in by now, but now they're going after the documents again, and they are talking about trying him with treason and
Cheese.
and some other lovely things. And the whole reason why is because in the articles in the 25th Amendment, they can only have him not run, even if he has a felony, it doesn't matter. But if he does something to overthrow the government, insurrection, treason, whatever, that's why they're trying to make this stick. So
well, I hope they hold the same standards for Obama,
that's what
Biden,
we're that's what we're going to talk about. Obviously, huge opportunity. Good call, Liv. Illegals are hurting liberal cities. Well, thanks. Wow. If only you would have listened to the border states that are all red. But now the liberal cities are getting hurt because Texas, Florida, and other states are shipping their illegals out into safe havens in these sanctuary cities, and now they're crying. New York is complaining up a storm, and Claude Jean Pierre went up on stage. We'll watch that video. Gender versus sex. I'm done. I'm done with this conversation. I'm so, sex is definitely male and female, but gender is fluid. No, you know what? We're gonna have that conversation because I'm sick of this shit. I'm done with it. And yes, schools are coming after your kids. They are, and we're done. Yeah. We're done pretending they aren't. So, pride is something that I've supported for 20 years. You know what? Longer than that. I would say since I was 12 years old. And some of you have had a chance to hear the story about Kent and my mom's good friend who died, who was homosexual, and how that changed kind of my life and my view on it. I never used the word gay or the English cigarette anymore because I realized how damaging it was to people and to hear that type of stuff. And I've always supported pride. Now, the funny thing is, Judy says Rumble's not working right. It is.
We actually have quite a few people on who are chatting.
Rumble's working. I'm sorry. It's just you got to sign in or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out for you. But it is working. We have plenty of people on right now. But I've supported pride. But even the LGB community, it wasn't always LGBT. Okay? It was LGB. And I'll be honest, and this is kind of the inner workings. Now, if you talk to most African-American people, they'll tell you they don't care. Race, color, creed, or indifferent. Doesn't matter.
Right.
But people who are African-American, who have that racist gene, like people like Joy Reid or Maxine Waters or any of the others that we've demonstrated who have racial issues with white people, the LGBT community doesn't really know that the deepest, darkest secret with some African-American people is they're bitter. And they're bitter at the LGBT community because they took 20 years to get what 400 years African-Americans are still fighting for. And that whole open acceptance in the workplace and equality. And they have 142 days. And I wanted to start off with this because this is going to bring a lot of conversation. And I know... Looks like my internet quality is down. Are the kids on the internet? Get them off?
I have no idea.
Yeah, tell them to jump off.
They shouldn't be.
Yeah, well, a lot of things shouldn't happen in this house, and they wind up happening.
Now, Hayden might be doing homework, so that might be
okay, but homework's not the problem. Okay, so here is a list, and I want to go through this. And the reason why I think the hidden secret is a lot of African-American people have some issues, not openly so much, but will challenge and say, stop crying. Look what you have. There's also inside the LGBT community, the T and the Q and the plus and the IA and two spirits. Mm-hmm. They're not okay with this yet. And they're not really like transgenders. They kind of look down on the transgender community and feel like the transgender community is taking the LGBTQ community hostage. Not everybody, but this is a feeling. And I think certainly that's the way I feel. And I feel the pride flag is no longer about pride. It's about shock and awe and doing whatever they can do to marginalize Christianity, make fun of Christianity, make fun of religion, and make fun of white people from the Republican side of things. And that's ultimately what it's turned into. It's not about equality anymore. It's about degradation, and it's not about love. That's not what it's about. Because love is not about where you put your penis or your vagina. That's not what love is. That's sex. And that is completely different. But I want to walk through this and open it up to the group. And then we'll watch some videos and stuff. So February 19th through 25th. Count the days for me. Olivia?
Yes.
19, 20, 20. You're going to have to get your calculator out here.
Oh, okay.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 7 days. Got it?
Okay.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 5 days.
Okay.
So that is the aromantic spectrum awareness week.
What the hell?
What the hell's
Then
that?
you have, dude, just listen. Why don't you show some appreciation for your gay and lesbian brothers? LGBTQIA plus health awareness week is March 21st through the 25th. March 31st, add one live.
Okay.
Transgender Day of Visibility. April 6th, add one live. International Asexuality Day. April 13th, International Day of Pink Day opposing homophobia. April 14th, Day of Silence. April 26th, Lesbian Visibility Day. Are you adding these?
Yes.
May 17th, International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia. Make sure to put in Pride Month. You'll put 30 days at the end of this, okay?
Okay.
May 19th, Agender Pride Day. May 22nd, Harvey Milk Day. May 25th, the Pansexual and Panromantic Awareness Day. Okay, here's the entire month of June, Pride Month. June 23rd, Stonewall Day. June 28th, International LGBTQ plus Day. July 14th, International Non-Binary People Day. July 16th, International Drag Day. September 16th to the 23rd, 16th, it's a full week, 7 days. Bisexual Awareness Week, September 23rd, Celebrate Bisexuality Day. We're not even done. The entire month of October, LGBT History Month. Another 30 days, Liv.
31.
Whatever. Thank you. Yes, because there's 31 in October, Livia. That's right. October 8th, International Lesbian Day. Hey, Amy, you have a day. October 11th.
Finally.
Yeah, John
Finally.
didn't know.
International and lesbian.
National Coming Out Day. October 11th. It's right around the corner, Leroy.
Oh boy, I'm gonna put that
October
one on my calendar.
October 17th to the 24th. Is it a My Little Pony calendar?
It is actually.
I thought so.
How
October
frightening.
October 17th, 24, 7 days left. Gender Fluid Visibility Week. October 19th, International Pronoun Day. October 19th, also Spirit Day, support for LGBTQ youth.
I'm supposed to be adding these, not just the actual month. Okay, I got to add these up.
Are you freaking serious?
Yeah, I could do it.
How do you not know?
Because you said the entire month, so I thought you were just naming the days. I don't know. Hang on. Sorry.
It's a lot.
I'll look. Oh, goodness. Hang on. I got it. Okay, that's 2. Got it.
You're fired.
Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it.
How?
Because I counted the days real quick on the screen and just added them up.
So full of shit.
Sorry.
October 11th, National Coming Out Day. Okay, Gender Fluid Visibility Week, October 17th through 24. International Pronoun Day. Spirit Day. Asexual Awareness Week, 7 days. Intersex, I already know what it is. It's 142 days. Intersex Awareness Day. Entire month of November, Trans Awareness Month. Transparent Day is November 5th. November 8th is Intersex Day of Remembrance. November 13th to the 19th, Transgender Awareness Week. Transgender Day Out Remembrance, November 20th. Please explain to me how this group of people, this demographic, is marginalized.
Is that
When
like
you
2.5 months?
I count 153. Unless
Okay,
I
fine.
have those wrong.
153 days. No, it's longer than that. It's 3 months plus another 2. It's 5 months.
Why do they need individual days during the full
Hold
months?
on. Let's slow down. Okay. So I want to get now listen, This is not a gay bashing or lesbian bashing fest. What I'm saying is how are you marginalized when you have 150 days out of the year dedicated to be only where you put your cock and balls? I'm so sick of this. I am so tired of hearing about this stuff. And I've never been that guy. I'm always telling, calm down, you freaking bigot. Knock it off. Who cares? Just let them live their life. But now this is like literally, it will not stop. And it's everywhere. Who wants to go first?
Can I go first? Because I just wanted
Sure.
to point out, because Mother's Day just passed, and I can't tell you the amount of
Did you just say
backlash-
mother? I'm sorry.
Mother's Day.
You mean birth?
Mother's
You mean
Day.
birthing
birth
person,
giving
right?
person?
Oh my God.
Birth
Right,
person.
yes. Is that on the list? Birthing
should be.
Person's Day was in May, and we have Birthing Persons by Choice Day coming up. The Father's Day one. They have a transparent day. I did not know that. I knew about some of these, not all of them. And the amount of crap they give to Mother's Day and Father's Day, and they get a freaking transparent day. I'm sorry. That's all. That was like literally my 2 cents.
No. It's fine. I'm looking at Ronnie Barker. Why is it always musicians that are socialist communists? Shut up, repubtard maggot. So let me get this straight. Ronnie, let me get this straight just to make sure I understand before I let Amy finish her comment. You have a problem with Republicans. You have a problem with people who are mentally retarded. You use it as an insult. And then you also use language from 1932 to 1940 as the Reich called Jews maggots and insects and vermin. Wow, bro, you keep some really strong quality people. You should come on the show and explain to us why you think we're retarded. I'm sorry. I'd really like to know. Especially, you can share with me how your musical career is going after 53 years of you playing whatever instrument you have and not making it, and tell me that we're mentally challenged. And what's funny is that I have banned more people than follow your music. I'm just letting you know. Just thought I'd let you know. You can look at this. I get an email from Diablo. You should come on live now. Updates waiting. We got to go, guys. Diablo has an update. We care about you, just not that much.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team. And we have an important message for
Amy,
returning vets.
go ahead. Finish. I can't believe I got called a repubtard. I mean, that's so. I mean, first of all, you're talking like a 2-year. You're talking like a 2-year-old, right? So you're a repubtard. Yeah, I know.
Do we have an International Repubtard Day of Awareness?
We should have an International Repubtard Day of Awareness. So anyway, I'm not even going to go into that guy's profile, but I would really like to hear, why do we need 150 some odd days to recognize? How about this? Breast cancer. How long does breast cancer get, Liv?
31 days. It's the full month of October.
Yeah.
How about prostate? Nobody even knows. It's September and
I
it's
think
light
it's September, so it's the full month.
Nobody wears light blue. Nobody cares. The only people are like the baseball, but hockey doesn't wear light blue. But anyway,
no, that's a really good point.
Yeah, February is for Black awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
What month do veterans get?
They get a day.
They get one day, Veterans Day.
Right, or if we die, we get both. We get Veterans Day.
They get a different day
and Memorial Day. I know it's amazing. How about the homeless? What day do the homeless people get?
I think they do have
February the 30th.
No, I think there is a Homeless Awareness Day.
Is there? But nobody. But the fact that we have to say, I think. Like, let me ask you a question. What month is Pride Month? We all know. So my point is, are we really focusing on the most pivotal parts of society? And honestly, I think all of these days are stupid. I'm not a fan at all. But the question is if you have 150 some odd days of focus about where you put your penis, is that enough? Or what else would you like people to do? You now have people wearing the clothes. You have sports teams out there wearing it. You have us not bringing Marines home, but bringing home Brittany Griner. You have special treatment. What else do we want? Leroy, make this make sense.
Well, you can't. And to your point, excuse me, when you're talking about, when veterans have their day, that is a day of focus, right? Memorial Day, that is a day of focus. right? By definition, it is 1 day set aside where you recognize this. When you have 153 days, that is not focus. That is a shotgun blast to say we're trying to cover as many of the squares, right, in this Zoom call as we can. And that's to your point. The pride flag has been expanded, right? And it was something where it had some legitimacy, right? It was something that was used as a symbol for the community. Um, but the pride flag has turned into an umbrella, and it's an umbrella to cover the largest group of potential victims that the left can swing. Um, and that's why they have to throw all of these days at it, right? They just want that calendar absolutely full so that you would have to go from, one victimized person to the next marginalized person, and you never get the break. That's not, yeah, that's not focus. That's brainwashing.
Real quick, Amy got put behind the live sign because somebody has to go behind the live sign. There was absolutely no thought to it. And folks,
What?
there is a way to take the live sign off. You can watch it on your computer. You can go ahead and turn it sideways. But you want to watch the chat and watch the show and see not the. I can't. I'm not going to curtail the entire show to Facebook.
I'm happy to be behind the live sign. Y'all were just dogging me the other day because of my hair because I didn't wash it.
Well, you know what I guess I could do is I could put the three smaller pictures to the right and put the larger. But someone's going to complain. Not everybody's going to be happy. So I can see Amy just fine. I see it on my phone.
The temperature and the thermostat so that we're all happy. Can you do that, Matt?
Yeah. Could we also do? Listen, can I give you all a special day of your own? And it's called "I Want to Bitch About Everything" Day, and you just go ahead and do that. Okay.
That's every day in my world.
So it's okay. Listen, folks, and also the reason why it's probably behind is because you have it on old person view where it magnifies your phone 150%. You just need to get in the iPad and walk around and talk on your iPad. Hey, mom, what's going on? How's it going? Hey, did you hear it's non-binary unicorn leprechaun day? Did you? Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I gotta go, mom. I got another call. Hold on. I gotta hit call. Hello. So sorry, whoever said that, I was just joking. All right, so Liv, your comments on this, on 150 some odd days to recognize where you put your penis or your vagina.
I think they're screaming for attention. That's all they want is attention. I mean, why else do you need to be recognized that many days? And I mean, veterans should have more than just 1 day, to be honest.
How about nobody gets a day?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Right. I'm down with that.
How about we just go and we just recognize people, because isn't that ridiculous? I'm like, hey, Liv, I just want to tell you, you're really special on Valentine's Day, on Mother's Day, and on Christmas, and for Thanksgiving and the other 362 days. Get your ass in the kitchen and make me a pot pie. That doesn't seem. Why don't we just care about everybody all the time? And stop coming up with these days that nobody really cares about. Does anyone else want to talk about that specifically? Does that shock anybody though? 154 some odd days.
It does. It shocks me a lot, and it trivializes the actual movement. It trivializes the people that are behind the movement, the real victims that do have to struggle, right? And whatever the cause is, right? If you're struggling because you're afraid to come out, or if you're struggling because, there is some legitimate biases at work, I get that. Shouldn't happen. I understand that. And for that, you have my utmost support. But to have 153 days with every subtle nuance, the 10,000 different shades of gray, just to make sure that you're covering the spectrum for
Amy
the movement,
Bannon.
that's too much.
Sorry. Amy Bannon. Like he can say whatever he wants about me, but the man has no balls, and more than likely a latent closet homosexual, right? I mean, and that's really the truth, right? The guy is struggling with his own sexuality. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't have any identity. So Ronnie, you're gone. And you know what? It's a shame. I'm still waiting for somebody who has the actual mental capability to actually come on here and wax intellects with me and stand their ground and prove a point. But you know what? I'm never going to find it. And I've realized it. All we have is a bunch of simpleton knuckle draggers who are a part of a band who want to be socialists and just want to insult people. And honestly,
talking about the trolls, by the way.
No, I'm talking about everybody. No, I'm kidding. Of course, I'm talking about the trolls. Yeah, go.
What if we stop talking about them? They, them. What if we just started this non-movement of like a movement of a non-movement? We say
because
no
I
more.
Believe that's
we don't.
chicken shit.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I don't.
I'm so tired of them.
But hold on a second. We need to have a group talk. Group talk. All right, let's do it. No, seriously, this is serious. We got to have it. So if we don't address the trolls, then it's because we're afraid of them.
She's talking about the 153 LGBTQ days.
Yeah, she was talking about
throughout the year.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the troll. Oh, forget it. We don't need to have a talk. Back to our regular scheduled program.
No.
Hey,
I love the
somebody
trolls.
was wondering if you can post the list of days.
Yeah, I'll put it up on Facebook. Remind me to do it. Olivia, take notes, please.
Awesome.
Hey, woman, write that down.
Make you pot pie?
Hey, it's like been a week and a half. What's going on with the pot pie?
Because your children don't want it anymore.
I don't really care what they want. I didn't want them to begin with. And look where we're at. So pot pie, please. Are you serious? They both said that?
They really didn't eat much of it last time.
Hayden, Ethan, get in here.
Ethan might be sleeping.
He didn't come say goodnight. It's 8:30. Hold on a second. We got to get this fixed. Well, this is unacceptable.
Are you making only one kind of pot pie, or is there multiple flavors? Or yes,
right here. All right, you right here.
Yes, you. But what?
Did you tell?
Please
hold on,
to her.
time out. Hey, fix your camera.
Holy cannoli!
Did you tell your mother not to cook pot pie
both
anymore?
Read to your sister. That's perfect. Thank you, honey.
She just the last.
Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Olivia, you didn't say that. That's exactly what you just said.
No, I said they
you
didn't
said the
eat
kids don't want it anymore.
Because they didn't eat it, and
Get
I
off
know
the
when
table.
they don't want it.
You're gonna break my computers, and break that. Get off my table. They're not strong. Do you like pot pie?
I told him to read you a story.
See,
Get
I
out.
told you.
Get
Go
out.
pick a story.
I'm so disappointed. You're
Oh,
not my child.
I feel like a pot pie is something that every male chauvinist should have for dinner every
The new
day.
books I got you. I don't care. Read a book.
So we're all having family issues right now. This is why this show is real. You got Amy yelling at her kids. Leroy can't yell at his son anymore because he already yelled at them in the pre-show. Olivia's lying on the children, so she doesn't have to make pot pie. And I
like it. They just don't eat it, and it's kind of a pain in the
They don't
butt.
eat anything.
Right.
What?
My kids don't eat either.
Come here, Ethan. Hold on. So we're going to put this to bed. Do you not like pot pie?
Come here.
Do you not like the pot? You don't have to show your face. I don't care about your face. Can you put your shirt on correctly? Is that something you can achieve at 10 years old?
I'm coming to you, and he can choose a story that
Do
he
you
can
not
read
like
to
pot
you.
pie?
He gets to pick a story, and you get to pick a story.
Get out.
And you read them both.
Told you.
Get out. Get out. Both of you get out.
You pick
Get
a
out.
story, and
Hayden,
he picks a story.
get out.
You each pick a
Grab the
story.
cat.
And he has to read both stories, okay? Out loud to you. Thank
Okay.
you. I love you.
All right, come get the cat.
Shut my door.
Come on. Get out. Get out. Everybody out.
Oh my gosh, it's like kids and animals.
Yep.
And holy
It's
cow.
pandemonium, folks.
I can't believe they don't like the pot pie. That pot pie is the bomb.
It's just like, it's pointless cooking something that.
I love it. I eat the whole thing. Like if they don't eat it, I eat it the next day. Just stop not making the pot pie.
So if are you guys all coming over on Thursday? Because why don't you just come over for dinner and I'll make pot pie. It probably won't be as good as Olivia's, but I'll make a pot
I don't know if we
pie.
can do dinner though. That's the problem because the show.
Oh,
Thursday.
it's Thursday.
That's true. Well, we've been doing all week lately.
I know, because you guys.
We'll figure it
are
out. We'll figure it
awesome.
out. Let's do it Thursday. I wanted to do it Thursday morning, but that's whatever. We got Diablo. Come
Whatever.
on, seriously.
Come
Our
over
nights are
breakfast. I'll
for
make
us.
a breakfast pot pie.
You know, just for
All right.
Thursday, you could make the show take kind of a Gordon Ramsay kind of turn. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, be like you're
Yeah.
a complete fucking idiot.
Yeah.
This
Right.
pot pie tastes like.
This pot pie tastes like absolute dog shit. I hate God.
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is it?
Donkey.
What the fuck is it? All right, let's get to it. That was a good intro. That was fun. It was fun. It was, sometimes it doesn't have to be all serious. I'm interested to see who tees off on this stuff first tonight. Let's find out. Let's do like, what do you guys? We're not supposed to talk about. We have to talk about LGBT stuff. This is the last night, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Ames.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't mind it. I just think it gets a lot of airtime. I feel like every single news media outlet, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, is talking about it, and
Well,
it's
that's because
just,
it's been important.
I would agree.
It's going on.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I would say that more than not, you always see headlines, both at a local and at a national level, that talk about locker rooms, or they talk about drag shows, or they talk about, like, for whatever reason, just in the last couple of years.
Well, that's because they are. I've told you they're emboldening. And
Yeah.
okay, you know what? Watch this. Okay, listen. If you think I'm exaggerating, if you think it's too much, we'll stop. Watch this shit. I have to mute some of it because of the music. This is June 1st at there was a Canadian school and a Californian school. This is the first day. I have to mute it because I'll get hit with that Justin Timberlake great song.
What the hell is going on?
I can only play a few seconds of the music. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. And then they finished off with a drag queen.
Oh my God.
So what do you think? Stop
Is that
talking
in
about
Canada,
it? Or, I mean,
by
should we
chance?
just speak because it's annoying? Should we just stop talking about it? You think? Yeah, our kids aren't worth it. Screw it. Let's just ignore it. It'll go away. It'll go away. It'll go away. It's gonna be fine. So good call.
oh my gosh.
Oh, you don't like that one? Okay, well I got another one for
Oh
you.
my
The
God.
parents, were they aware of this, or was this like?
Well, that's why
not-
we're talking about it, is to make people aware of it, right? I mean, that's why we're talking about it almost every night, because it's like, people think this is all made up and it's all a joke, and it's not. We lived in Virginia. We went through this, and it's just too much. It's not just California. It's Virginia. It's here in Virginia. It's everywhere. Why are we pretending it's not? Public schools are like literally insane. I told you this was happening. I told you this happened at the college level. Then they started coming into the high schools. Now they're going into the grade schools. This is the Saul Alinsky playbook. Leroy, tell them. Help them understand.
We've been following this stuff for a long time, and oddly enough, when we watch, we've all seen like the Joe Walsh videos and What is a Woman and that type of thing, and the Jordan Peterson explanations, but none of it seems to be sinking in fast enough for any sort of meaningful change to occur. What's happening almost at a national level right now is that it's like everyone has been hypnotized, for lack of a better term, and conflating personal preference with gender confusion. You can have masculine girls and you can have feminine boys. Those are things that, right up until puberty are normal. That's just a broad spectrum of what personalities look like. And what we're seeing is, instead of people just accepting that, they're saying, well, wait a minute. Because this person is this way, maybe they're in the wrong body. Maybe this is something that's happening like at an epidemic level. No, leave the kids alone. It really bothers me.
Well, if that bothers you, this is gonna float your skirt just straight up. This is one of the best arguments that I've heard. And I've made this argument. Leroy's made this argument. I think we've all made this argument. This is on Dr. Phil, which, gagged me. But this is a 5th grade teacher who literally just puts this person to sleep. That's right. Gagged me with a spoon.
I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that. Don't be rude.
So this is strong, man. I mean, and this is the argument. And this all comes down to gender versus sex.
Right.
And it comes down to this. It's XX or XY. Now, there's anomalies in science. We understand. There's also people who are born with 4 elbows, right? And 2 heads and conjoined twins and mental retardation. There are anomalies inside of every
statistic.
Every single, and not just that, every single living being thing. I mean, organisms do this, seahorses do it, lizards. Yeah. There's variance in every single, in the animal kingdom, and all insects, everything has anomalies. But if XXXY, simple. It's not hard. This is the simplest thing in the world. And if you say, well, my gender is a mental decision. Well, then if your gender is a mental decision, then your decision to be gay, lesbian, trans, or anything else is also a mental decision. And don't tell me you're born this way. Oh, wow. Nobody makes up that excuse. And the last thing is that if you're born this way and you can't control your sex, you can't control your gender, then you believe in pedophilia. Because what you're saying is if you can't control it, then it's not about what's bad, it's your choice.
Right. It's about
it's
who you're attracted to.
That's right. It's if you're telling me you have no choice, well then rapists, well that's against the law. Why? Wait a second. Why is that against the law? You just told me they're born that way. So there are limits. There are certain things that we have to say aren't okay in society. And I'm not going to say that it's gay and lesbian. No, absolutely not. And transgender. No, there's nothing wrong. And two-spirit BIPOC times unicorn is fine for adults. The moment that you go under 18 years old and start screwing around with our children that we have the insurance for, that we have to tolerate, that we have to live with, that we have to put up with, that should be against the law. Period. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you're a Satanist. I don't care if you're a Zionist. I don't care if you're transgender or anything in between. Stay away from our children. And you've crossed a line now. But don't sit here and say lesbianism, transgenderism, and everything is completely normal. But then you also, if that's the truth and you're born this way, then you don't get to tell me you choose your gender. You can't do that. That's not the way it works. It can't be choice for what's convenient for you. It's like the Old Testament, the New Testament. Oh, I don't read the Old Testament. I just ignore those parts of the Bible I don't like. And that's the way it works, sister. Walking around. So let's make sure that we're making sense. Watch this video. Then I want to get everybody's opinion.
Transgender boys who might not have their own money to go buy tampons, if they're provided free in the bathroom, it's a huge plus.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary.
Incorrect.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So
Yes,
explain
it
to me as to why my body
if
menstruated at
if
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're
We're
not
excluding
men.
a whole group of people
They're
here
women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men. You are not a man. You can pretend to be a man, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Live your life and tell me what a man is.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
So why are we
I
just looking
like
at
him.
the
I love him,
science
yeah.
of this as an
The
example
science.
when we've learned sex and gender identity are they're completely different things.
They're not completely
They
different.
are completely different.
Completely
They're not.
different words.
And sex is what you're born with,
Hold on,
the
listen.
sexual reproductive organs you have. Gender is what you identify with. They're completely
Well, I don't
different
accept that
things.
distinction. You have to argue for it. You're just giving a conclusion. You're just making it up. The people who hate the truth, are because they see the truth as hateful. If you want to identify in any way you can, you're free to do so. But that does not mean that the rest of us have to join that illusion. You disagree, I disagree with you, and so you call it hate. but there's no hate in my heart at all. So that's
You
wrong.
are being hateful when you tell somebody that identifies
Okay.
as a man that they're not a man.
That's not
That is
hateful. That's a fact.
So
Amen.
I
love it.
I love a good
great.
teacher. Now, I want to know if anyone is going to go back to Dennis Prager in like 2019 when he was on the Bill Maher show and he said, listen, you guys, the left has lost the plot. And Bill Maher's like, how? Tell me how. And he's like, you guys think that men can menstruate. And they all ridiculed and laughed at him and said he was crazy. And he's like, this is real. And they said, no, they'll never apologize to anyone. Who wants to tackle this? Leroy and I have already got a little piece. Amy, Olivia?
Go
Liv,
for
do you want to
it.
go first?
Oh my God, would one of you please go?
I'll go. First of all, that guy, I give him like tremendous kudos. I could not find anything wrong with what he said. I just wish that, the people who are transgender or whatever, the two-spirit, I don't even know what that means, but the people who identify as something outside of the traditional norms of our society, they should give us the same grace that they want extended to them. And I don't
There
think
you go.
for the most part, I mean, and I've seen it more lately. A couple weeks ago, in fact, I was like, oh my gosh, like it's literally, I felt like our town was being taken over by people who were not, typical heterosexual people. They had the multicolored rainbow hair and you couldn't tell if it was a boy or a girl. And these were young people, like middle school, high schoolers. And I was like, this to me is like it's a little far. Like I know, I dressed funny, as a teenager. Like I dressed in my brother's clothes. I didn't think I was a boy or anything.
Funny like a clown?
Yeah, no, I did not. No, I never did.
Okay.
I did have pink hair once, but that was an accident, and that was horrible. That was bad. And it was an accident. It was not supposed to be pink. But it's
How dare
it's a
you!
little alarming. It's alarming, but if you are caught staring, because this is not something that we see here a lot, so it's like, oh my gosh, like you stop and you look and you're like, wow, that is not something we see every day. Your eyes go to, but then you're a hateful person because you're looking at something that's just out of the norm for what you see. We don't have that. We're in our little small town really prevalently. You might see one or two people here and there, but to see a big group of people or several, it took me back and I was like, whoa. And then it makes me feel uncomfortable because then my children are also staring and then they have questions and they're innocent questions, but I'm trying to explain it without offending anyone and making sense to my kids on their level. It's really uncomfortable. And I just wish they had the same grace for us. Like this is not typical, normal, whatever word you want. We can't say normal anymore. It's not typical.
No, it's not about normalcy, right? I mean, that's not what it's about. But okay,
there's
real quick.
gender norms, and then there's not, right? It's not.
Right.
It's what is traditional and accepted, and then now you have to say typical. You can't say normal. But to me, heterosexual families and a mother and a father, and that's
Right.
a normal construct to me. To me, it's not offensive, but I believe that's a norm. It's a norm in our society.
Well, but here's the thing. Nobody wants anyone to go in and go, you know what, we're going to try to go ahead and help people not be gay. Nobody wants to do that. There was a time for that, and there was a religious push for that. And you know how that felt. Well, then don't try to make, we're not trying to make your kids gay. Really? Then why are you marketing to them? Then why are you doing drag shows? Why are you doing parades like this? Because Beth says, and it's a nice comment, Beth. It says, boss, a million years ago, do you remember Rocky Mountain Horror Show? When I was in beauty school, I was 15, and this guy was there all the time who was one of the drags. That was in the 80s, but it was taboo to talk about. Right. But you know what? The difference between Mrs. Doubtfire and MASH and Tootsie and Bosom Buddies and what is it, 150 miles to Wang Fu, whatever, with Wesley Snipes, whatever the hell that stupid show is. Right.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Well, because it's not this. And it's not what we're seeing. And if Facebook gets me for this, I don't care. There's no nudity in this. Here you go.
Oh, God, that was disgusting.
Here you go. There's children all over the place. Is this okay? Does this remind you of Mrs. Doubtfire? Is this Rocky Horror Picture Show for you? Is this good?
My God.
Is this okay? You okay with that? Pride, folks. It's about love.
If that was a woman,
It's about love.
they would be
Just
arrested.
enjoy. Stop it, you bigot. Let's enjoy the love. Shh.
Ooh.
Enjoy the love. Look at this love. It's like Tootsie. I'm cool with my kids. Look at that. Yeah. Oh yeah, kitties and yeah. Oh, God, look at that bra on that guy. He needs a bra. This is good.
Psycho check, psycho.
Is this okay?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
So
I'm gonna throw up.
how's that for Rocky Horror Picture Show for everybody? Is that okay? Guys, girls, that's not what this is about anymore. It's not about pride. This isn't about gays and lesbians, transgender people being targeted and discriminated in the workplace, being ostracized from being happy and having marriage and being loved and cared for. Those things are here. 154 days are celebrating that, and I am all for it. And I have marched in pride parades. I have never seen shit like that, and it's all over the place. This is nothing new. This is not about pride. This is the problem with power. I've said this 100 times. The first and second wave of feminism were two of the greatest things that could happen for the two ladies in the panels to the right. And for every other woman on the planet, feminism, I am a feminist. I have a daughter, I have a wife, I have a mom, a grandmother, used to. I'm a feminist. But what I will tell you is the third and fourth wave of feminism has done more damage to women than any other, because it became a hateful and spiteful and not burning your bras and equal payment, but hating men. Now, this new version of LGBTQ plus QRPST, whatever, two spirit is now about going against Christianity and doing whatever you can to shock Christians and Republicans and take moral turpitude and laugh at it. And anybody who has any disagreement with it, you are now homophobic, you're racist, you're transphobic, you're a Nazi, you're a Hitler, and you don't. And this is the shit that's happening. And there is a very big difference between that and Tootsie, a movie both of my kids have seen. My kids have seen Mrs. Doubtfire. I have shown my kids plenty of movies, and that is, it doesn't bother me. I don't have any problem with that. What I do have a problem with is you telling them that they are gay or lesbian, or your parents hate you and it's okay to come out and you can tell us and you don't have to tell your parents. Or you can have an abortion without telling them. Or here's your gender affirming care that you need. Here's the numbers that you need to do. And here's some of the steps that you need to go through without telling your parents. That's the stuff I can't handle. Who wants to tackle it now?
Right.
Well, for a group that is screaming out for attention, sure gets real offended when we pay attention to them. They wear the crazy hair and the crazy get-ups, and you look at them on the street and they act all offended. Well, you're the one you're the people who are acting like that. You want the attention. You're screaming for it.
And it's not all.
No.
I mean, let's be clear. This is a very small percentage of people who are doing this.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I don't want anyone to feel that this, listen, if you support it unequivocally, like I do, which is human beings deserve to be happy and live an adult life, pursuit of happiness, fine. But you also have to call out the bad in any situation. You may be a Republican, but you got to call out your own party sometimes. You might be a Christian or a Catholic, but you have to call out the bad things that the Christians and the Catholics have done. You have to. Because this is why BLM was taken over. This is why Antifa was taken over. That's why the Trump rally on January 6th was taken over. Because there's bad seeds that were never called out and never handled and dealt with. There are some very bad seeds inside the Pride movement right now, and this shit needs to stop. And the only people who can stop it are the LGBTQ community who actually have some self-respect and dignity and want to protect kids as much as us. Where are these people, and why aren't they speaking out?
They need to stand up.
No, that's
They're
an
the only people who
absolutely
can stop
valid
it.
point, because if you or I or anybody who resides outside that community, if they were to go and try and address those issues, they would immediately be castigated as you racist, hateful bigot. So that kind of change has to happen from within in order for it to be effective.
They do have a group in the gay community. It's and actually Amy put it up too. It's I think it's called Gays Against Groomers, and so
and then there's one Christians for gays or gays for Christians. Yeah.
Right. I don't think anyone has a problem with how anyone wants to live their life. We just
No.
don't need to freaking see it. Like, that's disgusting. That is like literally revolting to me. I cannot. I mean, like that's
Listen,
sorry.
but if you
Well,
want to do that in the
that was
privacy of
Olivia's
your own,
point, right?
yeah,
Yes.
no, because Olivia is a hypocrite because Olivia gets the freak on too. But the difference
In
is
the
we
back
do
of
it in
your
the
truck.
privacy.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
we're not driving in Amy's freaking vehicle, and I'm not like have a whip and doing S&M in the middle of the freak. Come on. It's not about being a freak. Get your freak on, man. Do that freaky deaky. I don't care. Children are watching this. Have some freaking just have a little bit of decorum. Have some class. Have some good judgment and say, maybe, just maybe, this is a little too far. Maybe we are diving into the Sodom and Gomorrah a little bit, and pillars of salt are going to start happening here. This is crossing a line. This isn't about gay sex. This isn't about being happy. This isn't about cakes. This isn't driving 4 different counties to go to a cake place so they tell you, no, you can't have that cake, just to go ahead and be able to sue them. This is just, you've gone too far. This is just as bad as the Christians trying to send people to camps to ungay and unlesbian their children. You were wrong then. And these groups, the small group inside here, are also wrong, because I know plenty of LGBTQ people who will come on the show. There's one person who watches the show. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but she was on Facebook and she wound up calling me a grifter, and I
don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't appreciate the word grifter for a couple of reasons, and the one of the reasons is that it means,
I love you,
illicitly stealing money. It's essentially conning people out of their money.
Good night, I love you.
And that really frustrates me. And anyway, she's transgender and she wants to come on the show. And she's asked to come on, and I said, sure, you can come on. I'd love to have you on. In fact, I want to lay out the rules of what we want to talk about, because I don't want to put her in a position where she feels offended or won't feel appreciated. But I have questions, and I want to get her ideas on this type of stuff because I think it's important. And maybe she can set me straight on some of my misnomers where I'm incorrect. But we'll see. So I'm going to try to have that going on this week. So we'll see what we can do.
That'd be a fantastic episode. I
called her out. I said, you don't even know what the word means, and you're calling me a thief and someone who's breaking the law. And I don't think you mean to. I just don't think you understand the word. And she's like, you know what? I thought it meant somebody who was just shilling for the left or right. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that either, sister. I am genuinely scared of what our children are being told. I really am. I really am terrified of what our children are being told. All right, couple more. Anybody else on this subject?
Nope, I'm good. Moving on.
Moving on. Yes, now that we can't talk about it ever again. So, let's see. This one's good. I'm not going to do Comey. I'm going to do Claude Jean-Pierre, and I'm going to let the ladies take this, because this is about illegal immigration. This is the left now standing up and saying, we can't handle all these illegals coming to sanctuary cities. Can you imagine? That's like the left coming up here and saying, listen, food stamps are really eroding the family values in the inner cities. And it's like, hey, dipshits.
You're the ones that put it in.
You're the one that put it in there. Republicans made that mistake in the 40s, and we learned our lesson, and then we moved away from that type of stuff. We used to be extremely liberal. We learned our lesson. So as soon as Amy comes back, Amy's laying the law down on the kid right now. Holy crap. She's laying the smack down. As soon as Amy comes back.
I may have to go do it. I don't think Ethan's in bed yet.
Ethan, Hayden, get in bed.
Oh, but Hayden does have to go.
Is it a full moon?
It's a full moon. My son's out there running around like an idiot. It's like a half hour past bedtime. All right, listen to this. Liv, listen.
I'm like, go to bed. It's 9 o'clock. Go read in your beds.
All right, Liv, you got to watch.
Yep.
Diablo's waiting.
I've said it many times from here, repeatedly from this podium, that busing or flying migrants around the country without any coordination with the federal government, we've talked about this, state or local officials as well, is dangerous and unacceptable. And we'll continue to be very, very clear about that. It is dangerous and unacceptable because you're putting people's lives at risk, and it's dangerous and unacceptable because you're actually putting a lot of pressure on these states and local areas. And so I've said it many times from here.
Who wants to go?
Sure, I'll go.
Okay, so make some good points and try not to be racist.
Try not to be racist. Oh.
So what it was is Olivia at one point made a joke, and we were talking about Maxine Waters.
No, Lori
Lightfoot, and I said Beetlejuice or something, and then Olivia, made some sort of comment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 about being a struck match.
Oh,
and,
God.
Right, and I'm like, Livy, you can't say shit like that.
Whoops, sorry.
And she did, and Olivia doesn't have a racist bone in her body. She heard it on a movie. I mean, and it's, and I'm like, no, that's really bad. That's like in Jay and Silent Bob where they do porch and primate. And he goes, I'm taking it back. He's like, you can't say that. That's racist, man. You can't say that. And he's like, it's not racist. My grandma used to say it all the time. It's like, it doesn't matter if your grandma, she'd say, hey, you little pea monkey, get your butt in here. It's like, you can't say that. It's a term of endearment. What's wrong with it? No, you can't say it. All right. Olivia, go ahead, fire off and try to keep it clean, sister.
It's amazing how it's only dangerous when it's Democratic cities. They don't care if it's Republican cities. They don't care if the Republicans get murdered. They don't care if the Republican cities get run over. But when it gets to Democratic cities, wow, doesn't matter. And they're sanctuary cities. They asked for this. They asked for immigrants to come to their cities. They wanted this. So why are they crying about it? This is what you asked for. You're the ones who opened the border and let everyone cross. And now they're coming up to your cities, and now you're crying and running to mommy and daddy and complaining that this is bad. Well, you kind of deserve it. It's ridiculous.
They're kind of saying now that it's trafficking when you put them on a plane and fly them to a sanctuary city. Why? That state law specifically says illegal immigration is not acceptable. And they are putting somewhere, there's nowhere to put them. You can't fly them back to Mexico. There's no funding for that. So you put them in a sanctuary city. If you don't want it, just stop sanctuary cities. Mm-hmm. Rescind the law. Leroy, Amy, anybody?
So I'm going to just go ahead and make the observation that this is a created crisis, right? And that's one thing that the left absolutely thrives on, is that they need to create a crisis so that they can have justification later for a larger centralized authority to step in and solve the crisis from the problem that they just created. I mean, has anybody caught on to that? I don't know if that everyone is tracking.
Wait a second. You're trying to say that the left, was that a rhetorical question, or can you let me answer it?
No, go ahead.
Can I answer it? So what you're saying is, make sure I understand, that the left, meaning the Democrats, i.e. liberals, part of the DNC, make sure I get this straight, create crisis in order to utilize that crisis to move policy forward. Where are you getting this information? I don't understand what you're talking about. I think you're pulling that one out of your ass.
How dare you?
That's definitely.
Again, I mean, it's the government solutions are almost always worse than the problem, and nobody seems to call the government out on that. They never hold the policy makers accountable for that, and it drives me nuts. That's all I have.
Well, if you're saying, okay, let me get this straight. These people are coming from the dregs of society. They're coming from South America. They're coming from Mexico. They're coming from across the border, Juarez, drug-infested areas. They have no money, no food, no clothes, except for the ones that they somehow have perfectly clean with white sneakers from going 3,000 miles across South America and Mexico. But that's a whole other story. Can you say that's trafficking? But moving on, and then they decide to drop them off and they illegally cross and they dump them in Florida. The federal government, you notice how she said, without government notification, which means you're dumping them in cities like Virginia all the time in the middle of the night.
Right.
You're just dropping them off. But what you're saying is, and let me make sure I understand that this is what I would have done. And I would do this in the debates. So what you're saying is that illegal immigrants are safer in Juarez, in South America, in Honduras, in China, in Iran, in everywhere else that they come from than New York, than Maryland,
Right.
than Michigan, California. You mean it's better for them to be in war zones than Democrat cities because you're saying it's dangerous for them? That's interesting. Why are your cities so fucking terrible? That's my question. Why are your policies so horrible that these people are better in third world countries than democratically ran cities? Please answer me that, KJP. I wonder what she would say. Anybody else want to go?
No, you guys said everything I would say. It's hypocritical. It's very frustrating. That's it. Yeah, it's just, that's it. That's all I was going to say. It's just extremely hypocritical. And I think anyone who lives in a place like Matt and Olivia and I do, where we have a lot of illegals being shipped here, it's very frustrating because, our heart can feel for them as people, but my family is more important. Sorry.
No, I slipped. My finger was a slip. That was slip. Completely slippage. Olivia, they're your kin. How do you feel?
What?
They're your kin? Damn.
You're Mexican.
Wow.
Jesus.
You're Mexican. She's Mexican. What do you? These are your people.
My grandmother
You're
was born in
basically
Mexico.
the female version of a Desi Arnaz. That's what he's saying.
Oh, totally.
That's right. You're Mexican. I don't understand what the problem is.
I don't
Anyway,
even speak the language, really.
well, you put it on your job applications in college. You certainly.
No.
I'm just kidding. I know.
No, I
did-
never,
all right.
never did that.
All right.
I'm not Pocahontas.
I'm just a little. I haven't heard that name in a while. All right, let's wrap it up. We'll do this. Yeah. Is there anybody more completely of a waste than Morning Joe? She looks like a KGB operative. Leroy, you know what I'm talking about. She looks like Politburo KGB, that she would take pliers and a blowtorch to your testicles in an interrogation.
Oh, yes.
The one on the right looks like she's stoned out of her mind.
We have ways of making it talk. Yeah.
Yeah, like the blue one right here, the one in the blue. But he looks like an Air Force officer who's about ready to retire and was permanently stuck at captain. So
yeah,
this guy's bitter. I've been here 27 years. I'm getting out of the Air Force, and then he's got to go sit in breakfast diners, and people are like, "Oh, you served? Where'd you serve?" The Air Force, and people are like, "Oh, were you in the real military?"
Air Force.
You're in the Air Force. Oh, the Air Force. Well, that's kind of serving. It's sort of serving, I guess. I mean, was the Coast Guard not available, or what?
When you're preaching, I mean, you need a message that's not going to put the people in the choir behind you asleep. And, this Biden crime family and Hunter Biden's laptop and this, that. As we say, if he's guilty of a crime, arrest him, charge him. And if a jury convicts him, so be it. But all these things about like the Biden crime family, this, that, the other, they keep pushing and they keep finding absolutely nothing. And it ends up at the end of the day just being an embarrassment for them. And as Caddy said, most Americans just don't care about this unless you're the wife of a Supreme Court justice that's talking about putting the Biden crime family on barges outside of Gitmo.
Absolutely. And when you see no response and you keep pushing something that you can't really bring anything out that would be even something perceived as a smoking gun, it takes away from the credibility of things you may want to bring in the future.
He's all
that
about
may get a
credibility,
reaction.
isn't he?
So to me, how tone deaf they are, that people aren't tuned in. If I'm preaching, not only is the choir sleeping behind me, they start snoring, I might want to get a different message.
Yeah, you can probably get that message from Louis Farrakhan. I'm sure he has some horrible things to say about Jews. Listen, does the left realize what hypocrisy sounds like? Do
I
they?
have a feeling they don't, because I swear to God that
Not a clue.
it was like they were, if I would have closed my eyes, I swear they were talking about Trump. I mean, you're doing the same thing to Trump. I mean, that's what they've been doing is try to get lies to stick, and nothing has stuck, but yet they keep going for more and digging for more and trying to find something
Why did
to
this
get
show
them
up
on.
like this? I'm sorry. I don't need to see that many
There's
of me.
there's 3 of you.
That's okay. No, folks, you're not. I just want to see if Colleen's sober, and obviously she's like, well, that looks fine to me. So here's a quick thought. They're going to go after Trump. And I'm just letting you know, they hope to have him by now. You know, we're looking at what, 15 months, Liv? No, 17. 17 months to the election? No, it's less than that.
No, it's 17.
12 months plus 5? 17?
Well,
it's 5 months till October?
November.
That's November.
November and
yeah,
May
but
are
it's
6
the
months
end of
apart.
it's the end of October. It's in October.
November and May are 6 months apart, so
Okay.
it's 17 months.
All right. It's June.
Yeah, it's beginning of June. And
Okay. So, unlike you, I don't just add. I just go, it's the month that we're this far apart. It's fine. It's 17. So they wanted him excommunicated from the process. The numbers are so scary for Biden that I don't think that they believe that they, with any real conviction, can assume that they're going to win.
Right.
I don't believe they know that. But one is because Joe's health. Nobody wants Kamala. That they are terrified of Robert Kennedy, who is now polling at 20%. 20%. They're going to have to make an exception for the first time ever that the president, the incumbent, has to debate. Would they not? With a 20% mandate from the people, holy shit, how do you go ahead and push Joe Biden ahead?
That's a big
He may
number,
be
yeah.
Without that, because then what you risk is that Kennedy goes, well, I've been ousted. I'm going to run as an independent. And then goodbye election. Biden's done. This is what I predicted a long time ago. If they don't let him debate Biden, if they don't put him on the national stage, he's going to run as an independent. And he is going to siphon 10 to 15% of the overall votes. And Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. I don't care how bad Trump does. If Trump just does exactly what happened in 2020, it's over. It's over. He could come out and say, hey, folks, grab him by the pussy, part 2, and nobody would care. So this is huge. They're going to do whatever they can to ensure that they enforce articles, that they get him for treason, sedition, insurrection, whatever they can when it comes to Georgia. And these are the charges. But remember, quickly, Joe Biden had classified documents at home. Mike Pence had classified documents at home. Hillary Clinton had 33,000 emails and a secured server and software that was only compartmentalized, never to be taken out of a SCIF, and she illegally did it, and then obstruction of justice when it came to classified information. Obama took confidential information home. It's in his memoirs. He cited his sources in his book. Go look at it. Go read his fucking book. It's in his book. He had to get clearance to go ahead, but he had those documents.
Right.
Wrote the book and then had to get posthumously get it approved by the DOJ and DOD. What are we saying? Bill Clinton had confidential documents. He's openly admitted that in his memoirs and in interviews. How come we're not holding these people accountable?
Well, because they're on the left.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is frustrating me more. Listen, Donald Trump, in my opinion, has kind of made his bed. He's made some stupid decisions. And I've been saying it for a while now, but this is, they can't have him in power. They are going to take the screws to him like never before. If you think Jean Carroll, this will go all the way up to October, and they are going to hit him on the civil and criminal court to destroy any credibility that he has. So the number one issue for America is we want a president that we don't have to watch go through a litany of criminal proceedings while he's in office, and we just can't vote for Trump. That's the one way you cripple him, is by doing that. Thoughts around the table? Who wants to go?
Well, something Olivia said, which was that a lot of times what they're trying to do, and this was very evident from the clip that we just saw with Al Sharpton, they're trying to throw every piece of anything at the wall to see what sticks, what has traction and what doesn't, while at the same time trying to discount or discredit any of the actual real evidence that is coming against the current president and his family. And there is hard evidence of that. There's a laptop. There's known conversations. He fucking admitted it on TV that he, forced forced a lawyer over in Ukraine to get fired based off of, whether or not somebody was going to get, I forget how much it was.
The world never.
Do you remember how much that was, Matt?
What, for Ukraine? $1 billion.
Yeah. Well, son of a bitch, he was fired. They pull this shit. They get caught doing exactly what they're claiming that the Republicans do, and nobody seems to hold them accountable. And again, this is just another case of is this a crime in search of a person, or a person in search of a crime?
The world never.
Right?
Yeah.
What is that?
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to set a video up for you, but I can't because it's
while
cranking.
forging
So just
new
1
paths
second.
to the future. That's energy in progress.
Former President Trump has refused to say.
All right.
Former
Everything
President
Leroy's saying is 100%.
Yeah.
But
I think
here's
it's
the problem.
desperation.
Go ahead, Amy.
No, I think it's desperation. They know Biden is crap. No one will vote for him. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I don't know where I heard this, but I heard it today. But I heard that they were trying to find a loophole in the Constitution to have Obama run as vice president with someone. So I know it's like
There is no loophole. He can run for vice president.
Yeah.
But
We
the
know what's
problem
gonna-
is that he's disqualified because if something happened to the president, he would not be able to take over the authority even as interim. So that is the disqualification. He can run, but it's an immediate disqualification. It would be invalid, and he would not be approved. Now, he could run as that and get on the ticket and just run with Joe Biden. But once the confirmation they still have to confirm the vice president. He would ultimately be removed and not confirmed by the Senate. The president doesn't need to be confirmed by the Senate and the House. Vice president actually does. That's the interesting thing. Kamala Harris had to be confirmed. I wanted, how many people, as a quick poll, Olivia, follow on Rumble and everywhere else, how many people actually watched Nikki Haley's town hall on CNN? So disappointed in every one of you.
Yeah.
The fact that it wasn't on Fox makes me sick. Nikki Haley is a viable presidential candidate. And honestly, I believe is just getting, what was that?
Chapstick fell off the table. Sorry.
Getting put, I'll take some, but try not to make that noise again, please. You scared the living shit out of me. I'm ready to drop and cover. Nikki Haley is not getting the exposure she deserves because honestly, they want a two-man race and they don't want her in there. But I want you just to kind of listen to her. And I would suggest you go look it up. I really do. This is only going to give you a couple of minutes. I watched the whole thing today and I thought it was excellent. I thought, first of all, I love her overall appearance. I think she brings and exudes confidence. She's a snappy dresser. She's articulate. She's smart. I love her ideas. I love her. I've been trying to sell you guys on her for a while, but everyone goes, she's a rhino. And of course, anybody who's not Trump is a rhino, folks. I don't even listen to people anymore. I'm just like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Here it is.
Has refused to say whether he believes Russia should win the war. Ron DeSantis, former president.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I mean, come on. She's a rhino. Tell me how. I don't know. I just have a feeling. Okay, well, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you have to be able to back it up.
No one has ever been able to show me that she's a rhino. It's ridiculous. Here it is.
Trump has refused to say whether he believes Russia should win the war. Ron DeSantis referred to Russia's invasion of Ukraine as a, quote, territorial dispute. What do you think of that?
I think that that's a mistake that too many have made. That's exactly what got the Europeans in this position with Russia in the first place. And for them to sit there and say that this is a territorial dispute, that's just not the case. To say that we should stay neutral, it is in the best interest of America. It's in the best interest of our national security for Ukraine to win.
On Friday, Mr. Trump congratulated Kim Jong-un because North Korea had ascended to a leadership role in the World Health Organization. Were you uncomfortable with how Mr. Trump dealt with and how his attitude was towards Kim Jong-un while you worked at the UN?
I mean, Kim Jong-un is a thug. There's nothing good or decent about Kim Jong-un. There's no reason we should ever congratulate the fact that they are now vice chair of the World Health Organization. And it goes to the fact that also the World Health Organization is a farce to start with. We saw that during COVID. I am unapologetically pro-life. Having said that, I don't judge anyone for being pro-choice any more than I want them to judge me for being pro-life. I think that there is a federal role for this. But if we're going to do that, you have to be honest with the American people of what it takes to do that. We haven't had 60 pro-life senators in over 100 years. Might have 45.
So Melanie says, you guys have a short memory, by the way. Carrie Rivas says, Nikki is for war. What the? But what? Where do you get that? Because she said she wants Ukraine to win. Do you want Russia to win? Who wants Russia to win? What a stupid comment. I'm sorry, Carrie. I love your take. What do you mean she's for war? Please tell me what piece of legislation she pushed through from the UN pulpit and said, I want war. Please let me know. And how did she have any influence? What do you mean she wants war? Aren't you the Tulsi Gabbard fan?
You know what? I think she was. Yeah.
I thought you were the Tulsi Gabbard fan. Talk about who. I don't understand, Carrie. Your bedfellows are very strange. By the way, I don't want Ukraine to lose. I don't want Russia being that close to NATO countries. No, thank you. And I don't care about Ukraine. I don't care about either of them. Why do we have to choose? I don't know. I don't know at all. I don't agree with everything Nikki Haley says, but at least she has her own opinion. And then the next thing
she's got chutzpah.
Yeah, she does. And then somebody goes, they'll put anyone that runs against Trump. They put Trump first, you guys. They put Trump first. He had the town hall on CNN. We watched it live together. What are you talking about? They already had Trump on CNN. Of course, they're going to go ahead and give these candidates some breadth. Good. Fox isn't putting them on. Let her be on.
So if you look at it from that standpoint, don't let anyone in the media, don't let any political party tell you that a Republican president can ban abortion laws in our country, because they can't any more than a Democrat president can ban our state laws.
If a 6-week ban theoretically came to your desk, would you sign it?
But why? I will answer that when you ask Kamala and Biden if they would agree to 37 weeks, 38 weeks, 39 weeks.
Boom. What an answer. Listen to this.
Abortion laws in our country.
Perfect.
Because they can't any more than a Democrat president can ban our state laws.
If a 6-week ban theoretically came to your desk, would you sign it?
But why? I will answer that when you ask Kamala and Biden if they would agree to 37 weeks, 38 weeks, 39 weeks. Then I'll answer your question.
What meaningful steps would you take to prevent mass shootings in soft target areas such as schools?
Secure our schools. There should be one point of entry. There should be a law enforcement officer at every school. We should make sure there's the clear bulletproof tape that we have at courthouses and airports. We should have that on our schools to protect them. And we should have a mental health counselor at every single school, not a guidance counselor, but a mental health counselor.
Some states have been experimenting with red flag laws. Is that something that you might support?
No, I don't trust government to deal with red flag laws. I don't trust that they won't take them away from people who rightfully deserve to have them. The fact that we have gender pronoun classes in the military now. I mean, all of these things that are pushing what a small minority want on the majority of Americans, it's too much. It's too much. I mean, the idea that we have biological boys playing in girls' sports, it is the women's issue of our time.
Is there room for the humanity of these young people in this debate?
We need to take care of these kids. We do need to be humane about it. But now, what about the idea that this girl in New Hampshire that I talked to, she's a senior in high school, and she said, every class they talk about transgenderism. And she said, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells because we'll be canceled if we say anything about it. That's what I'm talking about. It has overtaken the entire conversation.
So
that's legit.
Some people have a problem with Tapper. I don't. I watched the entire thing, and in my opinion, he was very level-headed. He asked inquisitive questions, which there are non-discriminate questions, and then there's I don't give a shit questions. They were inquisitive. They were very can we do this? Is this possible? Can we bridge the gap? There's some of the things, but when some people say she's for war, I'm for war. Right. I'm for war. When we need to have war, I'm for war. Okay? I'm sorry. Whether you like that or not, there are times that war is necessary. Maybe not world war, but there is time on the timeline to get down and get dirty. Sorry. And if you think that we should just stay out of everything, I'm telling you right now, that is the dumbest comment I've ever heard. You have not read history. You have not followed anything. You have not followed the push of communism out of China and out of Russia into the Orient that was expanding into other places. It's happening now. You have no idea what empires and regimes have taken over the world based upon global domination from an economic and a military industrial complex standpoint. You have no idea how many military bases are around the world that are designed to keep peace. And at a moment's notice, the United States can get involved, or it's a deterrence because nobody wants to hit these areas because there's U.S. bases like Japan. Japan would have been flattened a long time ago by China if it wasn't for the U.S. bases on property after World War II. And the fact that is why. Australia hasn't been taken over by China or another country because we have U.S. bases there and we have ports there. There is a reason why the Philippines are still under U.S. control, even though the Japanese wanted them and China wanted them. There's a reason why Diego Garcia is under U.S. control because there's a military base there. There's a reason why, there's a reason why, there's a reason why. The United States, I can understand why people say war isn't necessary. You've never had any involvement in war. That's why you believe war isn't necessary. And if Nikki Haley feels that there might be a time that we have to slap Iran upside the head, she's right. And if she says that we might have to get in North Korea and Seoul might have to take some casualties or they may have to evacuate Seoul, then so be it. There is time for war. What I'm not going to do is say she's a warmonger because you have absolutely no proof of that. Because there's no policy she's ever been in charge of that would put her in a position to make a decision about war. Who wants to go with what they heard from Nikki Haley? I'd love to get Amy or Olivia's. Leroy, you're next. Amy, Olivia, which one?
I'll go.
Okay, go.
So at least she didn't have Caitlyn, although I think she would have put Caitlyn in her place.
Okay, Carrie, why don't you tell me what you know or don't know? See, this is what I'm saying. I've studied more than you can imagine.
Okay.
I don't care. That's great. Prove it. Give me a direct link of which policy and piece of legislation she has moved forward that has said she wants to declare war on a country. Please show me right now. Show me or shut the fuck up, Carrie. I love you, but I'll tell you whatever I want. It's my show, and I think you're full of shit. So I'm calling you out in front of everybody. Demonstrate and show me or shut up. Okay? Olivia, go ahead. And I love you, Carrie. But don't get all fucking Z formation on me, girl. All right, Olivia, go ahead.
C formation. Jeez. You're on a roll today, dear.
I'm just saying, I'm getting a little getting a little pumped up. Do we have anything that we can play with that? Do we have any things we can play with that?
Oh no, you didn't.
If I ever saw you do anything that wasn't 90% selfish, I'd die of shock.
Oh, that'd be reason enough for me.
That's stupid. Okay, but anyway, go ahead.
She's gonna cry again. Oh, if I only had a brain.
No, Carrie's smart. Don't play the negative ones. But Carrie, you don't get to sit here and go, I'm really educated. I already know you're smart, but this is not the first time that you've said something that is completely not correct. Okay? So back it up. Call the show. Dial in and tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm full of shit. All right, Olivia, please go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
That is okay.
And by the way, Carrie, I'll tell. Okay, I'm sorry.
I saw what you
Well, that
did
was
there.
some weird shit. I hate men.
Can I go now?
Yes, please go.
You
please.
sure?
Please.
You positive?
Please.
Really?
You put the ism in defense mechanism.
Oh, well, that's the one we need.
we need to get
find that one.
We've got to find that one.
Yes, we do.
All right. Hopefully, Carrie knows when I'm playing and when I'm not. I don't know. Maybe she might be mad. I hope not. Go ahead.
Well, I didn't watch the whole CNN, but just a few minutes we watched right there, I was very impressed with her. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the debates.
If she makes it, she's at
I really
she's at
hope
like
she
2%
does. I
right
really
now.
hope she does, because I think she could do great. And I think her and DeSantis and Trump, I think it would be a really good debate. And I really didn't know much about her, but the few clips I've seen of her, I really like her. And I like what she says, and I agree with pretty much everything she said there. So she's kind of on my wavelength. So, but we'll see when it gets a little closer to the election.
Carl says, Matt can be kind of abrasive to people who don't speak our language. What, uninformed?
Is that a language?
It is. It's a very strong language with some people. I'm abrasive with everybody. Either you come with a fact.
No.
He's abrasive with me when it needs to be. So
Carrie
don't-
says, we don't always agree, but I never degrade anyone with a different opinion. You're not giving me your opinion. You're stating fact. You told me she's a warmonger. You didn't say, I think Nikki Haley is in it to start a war. That's not what you said. You said that she's for war, which is fact. That's not an opinion. You didn't say, I think Joe Biden has hairy balls. You said with no equivocation, Joe Biden has hairy balls. Okay, how do you know that? Well, I've cradled them many times. Okay, well, do you have photos? Because I want to see that. You say that she's a warmonger. Prove it. Show me the quotes where she has stated for and stood for war and said, I'm going to go to war. And then show me the legislation, because I'm presenting her as a level-headed candidate that I believe could help lead us into the future as a VP role and possibly president, but it's not her time. She's not going to get it now. She has to be VP first and show people what she can do. And you're telling everybody here who are voters misinformation, and I'm calling you out for it, and you're crying. I don't care what your opinion is. Show me the fact, or state that it's an opinion, and I wouldn't have said a word. I think she's a warmonger. And I'd be like, why do you think that? Or, Carrie, great opinion. You stated it as fact, and you can't back it up, and now you're crying in your soup. You don't need to find the quotes. I already know what the quotes are. Legislation that was put forward by her to declare war on a country or vote for it. That's what I'm asking for. Not what she said when somebody asked her a question of, do you think we need to invade Iran if Iran kills 150 women and beheads Christians, okay? I don't care about hypothetical crap. I want to hear the legislation she's pushed forward. Does anybody else have anything on Nikki Haley that's actually factual or an opinion on the panel?
I'll give my opinion.
Thanks.
I don't know a ton about her either, only what we've talked about on this show, and then that's all I've seen of her town hall. But I will say I really love her. Like you, Matt, I love her poise. I love how she addresses the audience. She seems extremely relatable. Now, with that said, because of the world that we live in, I could see people hating her because of how she addressed the audience and how relatable I find her to be. But I really like strong women, but most people do not. I feel like a lot of people are intimidated by powerful and strong women, and they automatically think that we're crazy bitches. Excuse the language, but I think that would be a big problem for her. And we don't need, another crazy person. I'm not saying she is, but I think people equate a lot of strong, powerful women with maybe Hillary Clinton, for instance, or something like that. I don't think she's that strong or powerful. I think she just has a loud mouth, but and the right thugs that work for her, but allegedly. So I don't know. She seems great, but I don't think she'll do well based just because she's a woman and she's very strong and she has great ideas, it sounds like, and has a lot of mic drop moments, I think, but
yeah.
I don't think she'll do
VP
well.
Carrie, Amy, a question came. I'm going to let you answer it since you got the mic. Yeah. Carrie Lake or Nikki Haley?
I mean,
sorry.
I'm not a huge fan of Carrie Lake like a lot of people are. I like her. I think she's really pretty. But I don't like the way that she talks, and I don't think she's very likable across the board, like Nikki Haley.
Yeah, according to Trump, he doesn't like losers. So
right.
So why would he pick? Why would you pick single-handedly the most divisive person in female form that is just like Trump? Okay, why? What makes you guys think that Nikki Haley is qualified to possibly lead the greatest country from an economic, military, and people standpoint and lead our country? She was a news anchor. She's not a governor. She has no experience. She's done nothing. I mean, you guys sit here and say Ron DeSantis needs more experience, but you want Carrie Lake to be the vice president? What the hell are we talking about? Right. Carrie, say Candace Owens next. Say it. Say, what do you think about Candace Owens? I get this all the time. Candace Owens, Carrie Lake. These are the only three women you all know. Candace Owens, Carrie Lake, and who's the other? Oh, Tulsi Gabbard's the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Nikki Haley or Carrie Lake. That's not even an option. There is no. It's like Carrie Lake or the girl selling lemonade across the street who's 10 years old. Carrie Lake is not qualified. She can't even handle that she lost. She can't even admit she's lost. Go ahead, Leroy.
I was just going to say, I'm actually surprised we don't hear more people that are trying to advocate for Marjorie Taylor Greene based off of that.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, the one who actually voted for the debt ceiling, and the other one, Boebert, who didn't even show up. Boebert didn't even show up. At least Marjorie Taylor Greene backstabbed everybody from the front. And then people are like, "Hey, Trump had no experience either, Matt." Yeah, that's right, Darren. But Darren, you didn't hear what I said. I didn't say that they have to have experience. What I've heard is that Ron DeSantis should wait till 2028 because he doesn't have enough experience. No, what you're saying is you want Trump to win no matter what, at all costs. Nobody else can win but Trump. And you're one of the excuses you've said is he doesn't have enough experience. He needs to wait. No, he doesn't. Every single person who should run against Trump and in that primary, and may the best person win. May the bodies hit the floor.
Wasn't Obama a freshman senator when he ran?
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Hey, Ronald Reagan was a governor for like 5 minutes in California. Come on. He's one of the best presidents ever. Look at John Kennedy and his experience. We need to be honest here. George Washington was a general, for God's sakes. Abraham Lincoln was a beaver farmer or some shit, if I'm not mistaken.
Beaver farmer.
I will say this, that it doesn't matter who's up there in terms of whether or not they're in a skirt, whether or not they're a person of color. I don't care. I really do appreciate hearing her stance on multiple issues simultaneously. So when she's talking about the trans movement, she was talking about guns, she was talking about abortion, and she was able to, address each one of those very succinctly, very clearly.
I know, Thomas.
I think that it would behoove all of us to get out of that mold of these single party voter issues. We as the conservative movement, as the conservative party, right, we need to start looking at more than just one issue at a crack, right? Get yourselves educated on abortion, on the trans movement, on immigration, on the border, on economy. You know, get some sort of fundamental knowledge on each of those because in the coming year, when these debates come down, it will help you listen for those buzzwords so that when someone tries to float a line that's complete bullshit, you're able to go, oh, wait, that's not right.
Is it like the one
And
that's below you right now? Matt, have you bothered looking at any of the court filings in Arizona? Have you seen what has been exposed recently? No, I haven't. Tell me all about it. Come on, Carl. Carl, dude, are you on this election fraud bullshit again? We're not doing it. I've already done it. I've done it 1,000 times. I'm saying no. I'm saying no. You know what? Because it's always something. It's printers. This time it's printers. This time it's trucks. You guys saw the truck thing. Yeah, Carl, I do this for a living. Yeah, I saw the hundreds of thousands of ballots that were never distributed. And the guy, they weren't even delivered that day that he rode the truck and he's lying his ass off. Yes, I've seen it all. Yes, and I also saw Rudy Giuliani stand up on the freaking pulpit and said this lady right here, she went ahead and her roommate voted for Joe Biden and she's dead. And the election committee comes up right behind him and goes, actually, no, that's not what happened. They both voted for Trump and she is dead. And the question is how did she vote when she was dead? And then Giuliani's like, oh. I also saw the 3,700 affidavits. Come on, man. I'm so sick of this. Can we move on from 2020? Listen, I'm so sick and tired of that. Trump is the only person who can run this country.
No.
Trump, we got 4 years at best. Then what happens? What do? Are you telling me that this country has no choice but the president? Do you understand how limited the power of the presidency is? Do you understand that the president absolutely, even when he vetoes, can be overridden by the Senate? The president has no power. All he does is enforce the laws, and he is the public voice for the states. And the states run the president. The governors can tell him to go fuck off. I don't understand why you all think Donald Trump can stop the swamp. Nobody can stop the swamp until the American people do something about it. And you're all waiting for this guy to come in with a white horse and a golden sword. And this ain't him. There's nobody who can do it but us. We're the only people that can do it. And what you have to do is get involved in politics. Do what Eli's doing. Trump only. Okay. Then we're going to lose. We're going to lose.
Right.
And we're going to lose bigly. We're going to lose bigly.
Huge. You're going to lose huge.
Huge.
Probably the hugest election fraud scam that's ever been scammed. Huge.
Carl, you may have a love-hate relationship with him, but you can't tell me why. You can't tell me why. You can just, because I disagree with what you think, but you can't factually tell me I'm wrong. So come on the show, Carl. There's the link. Someone give him the link. Come on the show and tell me why I'm crazy. Tell me why the election was stolen in Arizona and how you know for sure.
Oh, golly.
Now,
I can't. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. You want me to tell you that Donald Trump has a chance? Right now, Donald Trump doesn't have a chance.
No.
Not a chance in hell.
Yeah.
He hasn't started running. He's not talking about policy. He's going to be under indictment. He is going to be in court hearings all till October. So yeah, we might need Trump, but you know what? Trump isn't the only person that can stop it. I just don't.
Trump is not the great white hope.
Oh, Colleen, no.
But why didn't he do it for the 4 years that he was there? He had a mandate from the people. He got the House and the Senate. Why didn't he change everything? Oh, because the rhinos the rhinos decided to go ahead and not have she. What's going to happen now? What's the difference now? You tell me the government's gotten better? You tell me there's not literally more entrenchment than there was in 2016? What will change if Donald Trump gets in office? Help me understand. I've already told you who my choice is. Nobody knows. The American people will know. We will have primaries. That's why we do this. You're going to have a field of 16 to 20 Republicans who are going to duke it out, and the leader will emerge. The leader will emerge. And if that's Trump, then it's Trump. Great. And then he rallies the base, but he's lost support in his base. He's down to 87% with Republicans. He was at 94 at his highest. That's a huge loss. This is a shit show. Joe Biden, his numbers, the only person that can beat Joe Biden is anyone other than Trump. And that's the truth.
That is the
because that's what the
yes.
numbers are saying. Leroy, go ahead.
Yeah.
Listen,
And-
you wax some intellect here. Somebody, Amy, somebody, Leroy, somebody go. Amy, go.
I was just going to read. Maureen says she doesn't think Trump's electable because too many people will vote against him rather than for someone else. But I don't agree with that. I think a lot of people will vote for Trump because they're afraid that he's not going to, that the vote's not going to be counted for somebody lesser or someone could be elected later on in 2028. I mean, I don't necessarily want Trump, but there's a good chance I might vote for him if I don't think if I don't think someone else is going to have the numbers to pull it off, because I don't want a Democrat in office anymore unless they have somebody who is sane thinking and who can get our country back to the way it needs to be. But it's not likely I vote for a Democrat. So I mean, I don't think Trump is the best choice in my opinion. I think he did great things for our country. I think he's too divisive. I've said it a million times. I think there's other people who are far better and who could run our country far better. But there's so many Trump people out there. It's hard to say. So
And it's not Trump people. It's people who are only Trumpers. They're just as bad as the never Trumpers.
Yeah.
The only Trumpers are just as bad as the never Trumpers, because all you're doing is changing the names. You're just changing the names. It's like the people are only Bidens. Folks, there's no difference between this. And I'm not trying to convince you to change your vote. If Donald Trump's polling is showing positivity and he's trending and he can actually rally, then that's what I've been saying. But I did a wonderful breakdown of what he should do, and the guy sold NFT trading cards, okay? He released a Trump Terminator bobblehead, a Trumpinator. What are we doing? What's his policy? What's he going to do for economy? What's he going to do for energy stabilization? What's he going to do about Ukraine? I want to see his plan. He has moved from 2016 and 2020, where it literally was about policy and the American people. I haven't heard word one. Where is it?
No.
Someone just said, Beth Ann says, DeSantis isn't strong enough. Okay, that's a fact, right? That's a statement. You're making a declarative statement. Really? You think he's not strong enough?
How much
Why?
he benches or what? How much he
Yeah,
can curl?
is this
What
from
are we talking about?
Is this from an... Is not Atlas? Okay, you don't think he's strong enough? I do. Watch. You tell me if I'm wrong. This looks pretty damn strong to me. Reminds me of somebody from 2016. How about you?
Fortunately, there's bad stuff that's getting into the schools. There's pornography that's getting into the schools. So the parents have had to blow the whistle in Florida. They've had to, yeah, well, thank you. We're not going to let you impose an agenda on our kids. We're going to stand up for our kids. We're going to make sure to do it right. That's what we're going to do. Yeah.
Good on him. Good on him.
Okay, here's another one. Barb Peckham says, does Satan really? Is a Soros? You're an idiot. Don't watch my show. I can't stand people like you. You just called the man who's more of a Christian than just about any president I have seen or possible presidential candidate that I have seen since I don't even know. And you just called him Satan.
God,
why? Why is he? Why is DeSantis Satan? Is it because he stood up against Disney? Is it because he delivered Florida for the Republicans for the next 10 years? Is that what he did? Having rival economy to California? Sending out illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard? Protecting our schools? Supporting our veterans and our troops? Serving our country? Why is he Satan? Because you are an only Trumper. People like you make me sick.
It's like the argument on Saturday when somebody said that DeSantis was evil and Trump is a godly man.
Barb, look at his voting record. So let me get this straight, Barb. You watched Fox and you watched the commercials about him with Social Security and Medicare, and you're going to go ahead and that's all you're doing. That's all you've got because that's what you were told to listen to. And that was paid for by MAGA. That's paid for by Donald Trump. It's a political ad. Have you ever thought about the context? Please tell me what years he voted for those. Please tell me what years he stated, and what was he addressing in particular in 2010? What was he saying about Medicare and Social Security? Would you like me to tell you, or would you like to pretend that you know? Which one, Barb? Barb, I'll give you $10,000 in the next 15 seconds if you write it right now and send it and give me the reasons in 2010. I'm waiting. 15 seconds. 2 words are fine. That's all you need. I'm going to give you $10,000 cash.
I am convinced.
No, Leroy, we're not. No. Okay. She's on the clock. I'm going to give you another 10 seconds.
Music, TikTok music.
I'm going to give you another 10. Hell, I'm going to give you another 20. I'll give you 20 for $10,000 to tell me why. $10,000 cash to your PayPal account right now. Actually, it'll be broken up into 2. I can send $6,000 each time. Then I have to wait 24 hours. I'm waiting for your answer. What were the reasons that he said Social Security and Medicare, and what specifically did he say in 2010 that Donald Trump says he wanted to defund them, which isn't true in any way, shape, or form? Please tell me what he specifically said. What was his premise of why? You don't know anything about DeSantis. All you did was watch Fox, and you watched those clever little commercials with a little Ron DeTaxis or whatever his name was. And you watch those stupid commercials, and you think you know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just spewing shit. And I'm sorry, but we have to be better. We have to be smarter than this. Now, everybody went to Google. Now you're done, but you had a chance. I gave you a full minute to just type 2 words. His specific was reform. That's one of the words you missed. And the second one you missed was entitlement. That Social Security has become an entitlement. That Medicare has become an entitlement. And since 2010 has been a drain on the economy, and we have been using bonds and coupons loaned from the Treasury Department that taxpayers have to take back to fund Social Security and welfare and Medicaid.
Yeah.
It needs to be reformed because it's going to be bankrupt. But you didn't listen. Raise tax. He wants to raise taxes. Yeah, but he also wants to go ahead and do away with some other things. Yeah, he wants to go ahead and raise taxes and sales tax and income tax, but get rid of federal tax, property tax, housing tax, inheritance tax, death tax. So yes, you'll pay 21%, but you're going to save money in the long run because this is what Republicans and conservatives do. They want a simpler tax. They don't want 37 different taxes on our money, including when we die and give it to our kids that they have to spend on inheritance tax. Learn, people.
Wait,
Stop
I just want to
listening
address
to commercials. Stop listening to Donald Trump. Stop listening to Ron DeSantis and actually fucking find out what they really want to do.
That's what I was going to address.
God, I'm sorry. I'm just so frustrated. Who wants to go?
Well, and someone Donald says, I wish I had inside information. I could use $10,000. But Donald, we actually talked about this exact thing on this show. I don't know how many months ago it was, but we talked about it. So you just need to tune in more.
Do we talk about this stuff?
Can I make
Leroy? Yeah, Leroy, jump in.
I just want to make a quick point. So when we're going through these comments, if you are going through the effort of putting up a comment, right? Make sure that there's no limit to the characters you can put in there. You could put in there something along the lines of, well, this person did this, and so it's going to lead to this. We're expecting that. That's what we want out of this show. There are too many people. There are too many people on the conservative movement and on the Democrat side who are these just name-calling venomous creatures that will just throw out names like Ron DeSanctimonious and Trumplicans. And
you're doing really good on the Trump impersonation.
It's getting so good.
It is getting better. Now you need to slow down. This is where we chime in and say you're doing a good job, and we interrupt you, and you hold your thought. Hold it.
Thank you.
Hold it.
Thank
Hold
you.
it.
Thank you.
Doing
Thank
a good
you.
job with your Trump impersonation.
You're fired.
Okay, go ahead, Leroy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so
wait a second, Leroy. Listen.
when we,
listen. Leroy.
Do not come. Do not.
I'm going to come.
Hold it. All right, go ahead, buddy.
So when we have all of these single party type or single issue type voters. We're trying to. The point of the show is to get you thinking a little bit more in depth and to turn people from these just simpleton name calling type Trumplican, you can say whatever the hell you want, move them into the single
Column.
no, not the
Idiom.
column, the party, not the single party issue, a single issue voter. We're trying to move the simpletons from the single issue voter and the single issue voter into the multiple issue voter, because as you kind of come down that line, you're going to find out that there's less and less of them. These are the people that can really kind of dissect what the hell is happening in politics. That way we can look at a Kerry Lake, we can look at a Ron DeSantis and say, look, this was their policy on this. This is why it is a good thing for the Republican Party, for the nation in general, right? And steer away from the just name calling. We don't want that.
No, and okay. So I'm going to get handed over to Olivia because she knows me better than anyone else. But I will tell you, shit begets shit with me. And except for Olivia, because she gets shit no matter what. But if you come in here and your idea of an intellectual conversation on a candidate is calling him Ron DeSatan, a man who hasn't fucked around on his wife that we know of, stood by her through cancer, served our country honorably in the JAG Corps, served as a legislator, served as governor, has given us Florida, has stood up for rights of children, of parents, and fought vehemently for us, is not in here having a litany of criminal proceedings and civil proceedings against him, and is relatively clean in a river full of shit, and you call that person DeSatan, I'm going to light you up. Carl left, I guess, because Carl said, I have a love-hate relationship with you. No. You hate being wrong. You believe the election was stolen in Arizona because Kerry Lake has told you every single day that it has been for almost 9 months? And you believe her. And every judge is like, dude, we're not going to go ahead and censure you because you have a right to bring up these cases. But lady, you're full of shit in every aspect. And the Supreme Court's going to tell her the same thing because district courts are going to tell her the same thing. Nobody is going to go ahead and overturn Arizona. Arizona is a shitbed. It needs new voting records. It needs new processes. They need 10 times the amount of funding going through the election commission. They need more volunteers. They need a lot of things. But to sit here and say that there was some major plot for Katie Hobbs, well, guess what? You certainly would have accepted the results, and you did at 7 o'clock at night when Kerry was leading, and I told you she was going to lose. I told you that night she was done because I counted the votes. And people like Charlie Kirk and everyone else told you, oh, no, she's got a chance. Benny Johnson, she's got a chance. I just talked to her campaign, and I said, there's no fucking way she's going to win. She is going to lose. And I said it that night. And everyone, Amy knows, Leroy knows, Olivia knows, everybody knows I called it. I was the only person that did. Even Democrats were like, Kerry Lake. And I'm like, there's no path to victory here. There's no way. Maricopa is not going to come in for her in the late proceedings. Mm-hmm. And guess who was right? And you say that I have a love-hate relation. It should be nothing but love because I'm the only one that told you the truth. Everyone else lied to you and told you it was on a silver platter Kerry Lake was going to win. I told you she's going to lose. And she did. Charlie Kirk was on for 5 days straight, pumping you up and telling you, oh, I've talked to the Kerry Lake War Room. She's going to win. She's going to win. She's got this. It's nailed. There's a bag full of votes coming. There's a bag full of votes coming. I told you there are no votes coming. And here's why. And I broke it down step by step and told you how she was going to lose, and she lost. Olivia, can you please explain why sometimes I'm just mellow and other times I get hotter than a freaking tamale in a Chipotle burrito? Or not a tamale, a jalapeno. Man, whatever was in those burritos last night, that was spicy. All right, go ahead. See if you can do this.
I don't know.
Oh, God. That's great. Thanks, honey. Really appreciate it.
Well, I don't know what to say.
You can't explain how I am and why the way I am. Well, folks, I appreciate it. Anybody else have anything tonight? And we'll just go ahead and call it good. Final words. I thought you knew me better than that.
I do,
that makes
but
me
I'm
sad.
not. No, I'm not willing to say it on because I don't want to insult anyone.
What does it mean? No, you have to say it. I mean,
You don't like stupid people. You don't like people who are not intelligent. If they don't have an intelligent argument, you're gonna knock them down. You're one of the smartest people I've ever met when it comes to politics and sports and other things. Except you, Leroy.
Tell me more about me. Go ahead, baby.
But
tell me more about me. Come on.
Later in the bedroom, dear.
Ooh.
So
it's not that you're stupid.
No, that's why I'm not insulting you.
That's not what I mean. It's that you don't want to find the truth.
If you don't have an open mind, if you're going to come and state facts, you better actually have the facts or he's going to shoot you down. But he's also, if you come with those facts and he's wrong, he will be the first to admit it and say, I'm wrong. You got me. So, but you got to come with the facts. You can't come with an opinion.
Or come with an opinion and state that it's opinion. People have said it all the time, man. Hey, this is my opinion. I'm like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
You got an opinion. See, let me give you the nutshell. Amy wants to be the negotiator. She wants to have both people at the end leave with a smile on their face. Okay.
She's like the middle child.
Yes. Leroy wants, he's the first child. Leroy wants to go ahead and make sure that you think, but it's 5 or 6 hours after he talked to you and you're like, oh, that fucking Leroy, he was right. Yeah. That he wants to get in your brain and he wants to set off a nuke 5 to 6 hours later. But he doesn't know. He'll be like, yeah, you're good, dude. Yeah, good point. Thanks so much. By the way, here you go. And then 6 hours later, you're like, fucking Leroy, I can't believe he did that. Olivia just likes to start shit without anyone knowing because she is not a princess. She is an instigator. She's a rabble rouser. She sets and plants seeds. She likes, she'll go ahead and fire me, spin me up, man. She will spin my rotor right before the show. And then once the lights come on, she's like, hi, everybody. It's so good to see you. Hi. Yeah, but 5 minutes earlier, she's like, fuck you, motherfucker.
That's in response to you.
See, do you notice how nobody else said anything except you? So everyone knows you're wrong.
Well, everyone else's comments were nice.
I wasn't done. Leroy?
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't done. But that's just to me, right?
And I propped you up. You're the smartest person I've met.
You
call me the fucking instigator.
I said that's just to me. That's just to me. You don't do it. I just told you were super nice to everybody. You're amazing and you're lovely and you're kind. You just like to rile me up. But that's our relationships and it's cantankerous and contentious and that's okay. And I love it. But there's something about this entire panel that we all agree on. And this is what it is. We just want people who have the courage to come up here and do what we do and not feel threatened. Because once you put your face on here or your voice, every single person on this panel is all about making you as comfortable as humanly possible and trying to have you have a good time so you come back. But when you send texts like that and you say to Satan or you say Nikki Haley's a warmonger with no proof, it pisses me off. Because it's my show, my dime, and you're saying things that are not true on my show. You guys... Donald Trump has so many fucking flaws and you forgive every one of them, but one candidate has one issue and you send them to hell and say they're Satan. How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Carl,
that's why I was...
Carl, why don't you call in? See, this is the thing. Do we all agree or do you just yell louder? I'm not yelling at you, Carl. What are you, a girl?
Yeah,
What? Carl, what the hell's wrong with you? Do you need a safe space? I'm not yelling at you. If I was yelling at you, you would know. I just don't understand why you won't come on the show and sell your election theory to me. Why won't you just come on here and tell me? If I'm so full of shit, tell me. Tell me why. Leroy, go ahead.
What I was going to say was that only backs up, even to a stronger degree, the fact that when you want to make a comment on here, man, have your ducks in a row. Have some facts behind it and don't just show up throwing names around. It's not going to help. It just inflames all of us because we all get so frustrated with this bullshit. Yeah.
Can you imagine? It's just last thing about this and we'll put it to bed. Overall decent show. I don't know what you're talking about, Carl, yelling louder. I'm sorry. Facts hurt your feelings. Dude, are you sure you're a Republican? Because you look like a military guy. Why are you so sensitive? You went ahead and said the election was stolen in Arizona. I called you out on it, and you're upset that I'm yelling at you? Do we have a cupcake sound or something?
No.
Do we have like Rainbow
What does
Sprite?
a cupcake sound like?
It sounds like him. It sounds, you're yelling at me. I'm not yelling at you. I'm disagreeing with you fervently. Come on now.
I just Facebook not have an eye roll emoji.
I don't know.
Okay, folks, here's what it comes down to. You're going to talk about the stolen election. I'm going to challenge you. My wife was yelling at me about spending more time with you than her. Okay, dude, that sounds like, okay. I think you should go. Carl, call on the show now. We're here for you. We're ready to hear your opinion. We're ready to hear about, here it is. Okay, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for it to ring. Okay? Everybody here wants you to go. Amy, tell him you want him to call. Come on, Amy.
I want you to call Carl. 100%.
Leroy? Here, I'll even give you the big face. Ready?
I
Leroy,
want you to call, Carl.
Okay.
I
Olivia.
really want you to call.
Carl, would you please call?
Amy, your turn. Come on.
Carl, please call in.
Carl, I want you to call Amy, show, please. Call Joe. Please call Joe, Carl. Come on, Carl. They all did sexy. That's all I can do. I just want to get, hey, Carl, fucking call the show.
No, you know what I was thinking, actually? The Walking Dead. Call the show, Carl.
Oh, Carl. Carl. All right. I'm waiting on my CIA. Okay, Carl, we're done. We're done. Carl, I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, whatever.
I don't know what he's talking about. Carl, just stop being so sensitive, dude. You know what? Listen, here's what it comes down to. Arizona. Okay. Is there anything in your mind to believe? Does anyone sit here believe that Carrie Lake is going to be the governor based on the 2020 results anytime in the future? Okay,
Nope.
that's it.
No.
Okay, end of story. End of the conversation. Even if they found a giant scam, you know what they would do? They'd sweep it under the rug and they would never tell you because we would have a revolt. Colleen says, no, Matt, we'll chip from the cheap seats. I don't drink. You insulted my sober self. Colleen, are we going to do this again?
Please don't.
Colleen, are we going to do this again where we can't have a sense of humor about ourselves? Oh. You said it again today. Apologize, you cock wobbler. Wombler. No, cock wobbler is what I think she's kidding. Colleen, I apologize. I just imagine you having like 10 martinis before 1 o'clock. You're always so animated. You're always so honest. You're always so in your face. That's why people think I do a lot of cocaine because of my energy. Colleen, I apologize. You're not an alcoholic. See, I was wrong. You say that you don't drink. I believe you. Okay. Maybe you should have a few drinks. Just
Jeez Louise.
Just to take the edge off.
Just take the edge off. All right, Amy, last minute. Amy, go get them. What do you got?
Well, always great seeing you guys. Carl, we love you. Great. I think it was a great show. I am tired of all the rainbow pride crap, but it is true. We have to keep talking about this. We have to protect our children, and I would try to I think we should try to take the rainbow back as Christians. We deserve that.
What did God say? Did God give us the rainbow after the floods?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is that what it says? Is that seriously what it says, or is that just some like cute Hallmark card?
No, let me look it up.
God,
okay,
I wonder if
I think that's Christians just making up stories.
It could be.
I wonder if there's
maybe, yeah.
Go ahead, Leroy.
I wonder if there's a group out there who has tried to buy from Skittles their trademarked Taste the Rainbow.
Yes, it is.
Do you think they're going to come out with penis flavored Skittles? I don't want the brown one. I don't want the brown Skittle. I don't want the brown Skittle. I'll do the white Skittle. I'll do the pink Skittle. I'm not going to do the brown Skittle. No way. I'm not going to try it. Mikey will try it. Amy, what did you find out?
Yeah, it is in the Bible for sure. I thought it was, but I didn't want to be 100%.
Can you read
it's in Genesis 9:13 through 16. It says, "This is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth."
Wow.
between
Boom.
God.
Did it say rainbow in there?
Yeah. Well, yes. I have set my rainbow in the clouds.
Interesting. Why am I mean? Because I'm joking with Colleen. I'm not mean. I'm just teasing with her. Okay. If we can't joke about our sobriety, what can we do? I'm a freaking addict. Okay. Let's lighten up. I could use a few Vicodin once in a while. Let me be honest with you. Or some downers or something else. Amy, you got a final
That's why
minute.
we have children.
We interrupted your minute. You talked about rainbow. That's funny. Talked about the rainbow, but go ahead, wrap it up for us.
That's it. I mean, just, happy Pride Month, everyone. I think, maybe we should do something. Crowder does I forget what they call it, but they do something during Pride Month where they dress up in different costumes. A cultural appropriation month. That's what they call it, where you dress up in different costumes. So I think maybe our show should do that too. Not that, but something else to kind of like take the focus off of it and, still bring to light these awful things that are happening in our world. But
Can I wear that leather costume and that guy who was getting whipped? Can I wear that?
oh God, please don't.
So what? No, hold on, Amy.
No
we need to
offense.
take this to the next step. What do we dress up as? I mean, I've seen Crowder dress up as like a rabbit and other. Is that
Yeah.
what's going to?
I mean, look, I just have the ideas. I don't have the means to put them into
details.
action. Yeah, I don't have.
Carl says Matt's going to be like, damn it. Why is Carl calling me a dick? No, Carl, I am a dick.
We could dress up as our favorite listeners.
No, I'll dress up as Colleen. I'll have some nunnery clothing. I'll have some Bible and an ice cream, and I will sing hymns of our forefathers. I love it.
Yeah, perfect.
I'll be like Carl. I will build a drywall corner and I'll face it and cry in it. So,
Amy,
Well,
I
I don't
think
have
you have a fan.
what fan? What is it?
Winky Wanky Woo on Rumble wants to know if Amy has an OnlyFans account.
Well, I have an
Winky
only.
Wanky
That's the
Woo.
biggest rumor is that I have one.
No, but I do take. What do people say?
I
They
take,
put,
you should
like,
say I
this
take
or-
PayPal. I take
Yeah,
PayPal.
PayPal.
And
PayPal.
actually, she does have an OnlyFans. You send me $499.99, and I'll send you her OnlyFans account. Leroy, your minute. Actually, Olivia, you always say I go to Leroy first because we have a bromance. So I'm going to go to you, sweetie.
No, I don't. I've never said that. I have never once said you and Leroy have a bromance.
Well, that's kind of the shorthand for it. You said I
That's
always
it.
go to
I'm
him
leaving the
first.
show.
Oh no! Please don't go. You guys, listen.
Oh goodness.
Do you guys? Okay, you know what? I'm going to take my minute, then I'm going to give it back to you because you wasted it. So I'm going to just say this, and then I'm going to give it to Olivia. Folks, if you can't joke around, if do you guys really think like I'm like, oh, Colleen, I can't, never again. Or Carl, how dare he? Oh God, he argued with me. Folks, I don't care. I'm gonna go and play Diablo. We're gonna go kill Satan. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go play Diablo, and then we're gonna have some yogurt. And Olivia bought Honey Nut Cheerios. I might have a bowl of that, and then I'm gonna have some really cool sex. Olivia, do you ever take this show with you when you go like, oh, I can't.
No, not once.
Not
I
at
mean, if you don't realize that like 90% of what Matt says is sarcasm, then you're probably not really getting.
Shut up, Leroy.
You probably don't understand the show. I mean, our whole family is sarcastic. Our children knew what the word facetious meant at the age of 3 and used it in sentences.
They know how to say it correctly too. Facetious.
Facetious.
Facetious. Seashells on the seashore. Shore.
I hate you so much.
No, you don't. You love me. So you're right. I mean, that's what we do. All right. Was that it? Is that all?
Turner Monkey goes, what's Olivia going to be doing during all that?
What's Olivia going to be doing during all?
Because you said you're going to have some cool sex.
It's called. Excuse me. It's called Distraction Diablo, and it's can you fight a boss while Olivia is doing something that's not appropriate to talk about in the show? Is that all you got, Olivia?
Yes.
All right,
I'm done for the
Leroy,
night.
your minute, buddy.
All right. So we covered a bunch of topics, right? We covered how the left is going to have to attack Trump in order to try and better their odds for the next election. We talked about illegals. We talked about gender versus sex, and that kind of nonsense. And then we also talked about schools that are going after our kids, and that seemed to be where most of the conversation landed. My emphasis, the thing that I really wanted to drive home, was the fact that the left is going to have to go after Trump. They're going to have to go after him with everything, right, in order to better their odds. What's going to happen in all likelihood when we start looking at the Republican lineup, and that would be between, Vivek Ramaswamy, that'll be between Rick Scott, that'll be between DeSantis, is just like last time, Trump is going to have to suck all of the oxygen out of the room in order to plead his case. My feeling is that it's going to be an interesting couple of years to see how their platforms, how their positions solidify. And this is what I was trying to kind of allude to before, folks, is that we all need to be better educated voters. We need to be not single party, single issue voters, not single party voters. We need to kind of run down and find out what each of the things that these people support are things that we support in our daily lives. If we do that, then we will almost certainly win back in 2024. That's all I had.
And really all we win is the news cycle. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. We get to put the narrative on it. The president has very little power. To Carl, I don't dislike you, Carl, and I'm not yelling at you, and I don't have a problem with you. I'm sick of talking about the election, just like everybody else. And Amy's put her foot down. Amy's like, we are not talking about the election anymore. And Olivia said it too, and I got upset with them last night. You know what? They're right. They're right. We need to stop talking about the election. I'm done with it. I have, listen, this is Thunderdome, biatch. 2 men entered. Actually, 1 man entered, and I just left because nobody showed up.
Oh, what about Tina Turner?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm insensitive to older women who. See, look at me. I am a dick, but nobody will come into Thunderdome, and I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for you. Nobody wants to come in. So guess what? Master Blaster, it's over. You're done. You got Thunderdomed. So election's over. As far as Carrie, I love Carrie. I think Carrie is a smart mind. She pissed me off tonight because I'm sitting here showing you things about Nikki Haley that any person, any Republican should go, you know what? There's some things I like. There's some things I don't like. But to sit here and say she's a warmonger, all you're doing is trying to shut it down. You're trying to discredit her, and it frustrates me because you're smarter than that. You're better than that. So you know what? I'm always going to call people out. And you know what? You don't have to like it. This show is not designed to necessarily make you feel good all the time. Leroy, I appreciate you being here. It was good to see you. Will you be back on Friday?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're live. Leroy, see you later. Amy, we love you. Appreciate you. I'll see you Thursday. We'll get your camera. See you, buddy. We'll get your camera installed.
Bye, Leroy. Bye, Amy.
Take care, gang.
Yeah. Good
All right,
night, guys. Love you guys.
Yep,
All
I will
right,
go out
bye.
like I always go out with the Veteran Crisis Hotline. But first, PFC flags. Oh, Olivia, why don't we get some Rumble up real quick and show everybody, folks. Go over to Rumble if you wouldn't mind. We're trying to grow the channel, trying to make it bigger. Do me a favor, go. Good morning, Don't Unfriend Me Nation. What are we doing? Well, what we're doing is we're talking about Rumble. Stop by Rumble. We're trying to grow the channel. Please go and take a look at that, and we would love for you to do that. And then last but not least, this show is brought to you by PFC Flags. I'll show you a little bit about them. The wooden flags behind Olivia and I. You see the one? Point it with your finger, honey. See if you can do it without making a mistake.
Wait, I'm like paused here, so I can't see.
Bring that finger down, honey.
I can't see myself.
A little lower. It's behind her. That is one of the new flags. It is a banner flag. And then, of course, the one behind me is holding the AR, which I absolutely love. It's right over here. You can see a little bit of it. But please do me a favor. Here's the big side. If you have not seen it, it is... We got to switch this off. Nope. Wrong camera. Honey, they got a really good... They're like in your face. Here you go. Bam.
Wrong camera.
There it is. AR-15's right over there. And it's all wooden, beautiful. They make great flags. Go take a look. Go check them out. They are rock star fantastic. Folks, I'll have a recorded show for you tomorrow. We may be live, we may not be, but either way, don't take offense. Don't take it personal. That's not what it's about. It's about, sometimes I'm going to call you out, sometimes I won't, and you got to deal with it. Suck it up. Go watch the show that we released today, and please do me a favor, listen to this last message before you go and help Veterans Need 22 commit suicide a day. Wait, I was wondering what's on Olivia's shirt. She's wearing grunt style. Can you believe this crap? She doesn't even wear my shirts.
I do. I've got like 3 of them, and they're all dirty.
Go order more. Show him. You gotta lean back and pick up your shirt. It's a grenade.
Pick up my shirt.
It's a pineapple grenade.
A pineapple grenade.
And obviously in World War II, even in Korea, they didn't have the smooth round grenades. These are the old pineapple grenades. They look like this. You saw a couple of them. Oh, I gotta flip the camera. A little education on grenades. This is pretty standard, smooth grip grenade. Time period, Vietnam, post World War II. And pineapple grenades were also around during modern days, but they have a little bit of a different grip. And the one thing is that you don't want this thing slipping. So you've got the pineapple grenade where you can interlock on your fingers, and even if you're sweaty, it'll stay gripped. So this is a pineapple grenade. See? But these were very heavily used in World War II and before that. And there you go. So she's wearing a pineapple grenade shirt. Makes sense? Everyone agree? Everyone like it? Great. By the way, those are not live. Those are dummies. That's it, folks. That's it for the Don't Unfriend Me show. God bless. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for everyone for being here. Remember, don't take it personal. And if you did, you can always send me a message and tell me what a jerk I am. Either way, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Night, y'all.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important.
Yes, and also with the pineapple grenade, it was designed to create separation in the metal context to create fragments, which is also known as the frag. Yes, Glenn got it absolutely correct. Yes, I left that part out. I'm tired. I'm going to go play Diablo. Bye.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and you are important. For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call